The Aloha Hour with Johnny and Dewey.
I like that.
He did it again.
That was good.
Right on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in again. We are right now going for episode 7. Our guest, as usual, is very, very special and honestly also dear to my heart. He's a former pro surfer, one of the most well-known lifeguards on the North Shore, and including to holding a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, a Kauai Knockout Champion at 155-pound title. A 5-1 record competing professionally in Muay Thai and mixed martial arts. A 155-pound amateur MMA title in 2011. Years of professional jiu-jitsu tournaments with promoters like Metamoris and Fight2Win. He's also a member of the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation and the vice president of the North Shore Lifeguard Association, as well as a husband and a father. He is, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Foyle.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Honored, actually.
What's
Super
up?
excited.
How you doing?
Life is great, man. I mean,
Life
I
is
know
great?
the world is turned upside down, but life is good, man.
You look happy.
I'm happy, dude. I mean, there's ups and downs, but I'm so happy. Yeah. How can you not be? We're above ground. We're breathing great air. We're in the sun. We're healthy.
Okay, show's over.
That was the message.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
for real, one of the things that we really like to do here is we kind of like to dive into the guest's life and understand where they're coming from, what brought them to where they are, life lessons, and just to kind of, so we can educate each other with, your experience.
100%. Hopefully I can help.
Yeah, walk us through where were you born, raised, when did you move here, and so on and so forth.
I was born in Hilo, so 83. So I got the little taste of the only one white kid in elementary school, which was super fun. I appreciate it. I grew up in Hawaiian Acres, which back in the 80s was my next neighbor was a mile away, and it was a goat farmer.
Yeah.
People moved out there to grow stuff.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But no TV. Electricity was a generator that my dad flipped on. Catchment was 2 big pools. That was my water. So big 3-acre property. There was a rainforest on this side, and this side was burnt from lava. So like my dad told me a story about Harry Kim and him back in the day. So kind of a cool place to grow up. I mean, back if you asked me, a 5-year-old, I did not like it.
Yeah.
Didn't have Nickelodeon.
Any
You know what
brother
I mean?
and sister?
I have an older sister. Yeah,
Okay.
she's actually in Pearl City.
How many
So-
years apart?
5.
Okay. So you didn't have a play
I got
date,
tortured.
Really. Yeah.
I got beat up. I got tortured. Yeah. So it was, a lot of
No
fun
wonder
there.
he's in MMA now. It's coming back. All those abuse is coming
You
back.
know what? You ask anybody in high school,
Yeah.
would Kyle have ever gone down this path?
Never in the million
10 out of 10,
years.
they'd be like, that
Yeah.
guy? No, never. I was never that guy. I
Yeah.
mean, even this, just growing up, called Holly every day,
Yeah.
false crack, pushed around. I mean, luckily I was real friendly and happy. So I tried to joke with the guys before they would, hopefully hit me. So, but I never was that. I just wanted to surf.
Yeah.
Just surfing was everything to me. I knew everybody's airbrush, everybody's sponsor, every sunset from that. That was my everything. So like my dad was a Taekwondo black belt. I think everybody's dad was in the 80s.
Wait a minute. So he was a surfer and a taekwondo.
Yeah, so I
What
guess
big
I followed
island?
him.
What big island for waves? There was.
Kalapana.
Got
Yeah.
it.
He was, both come from kind of broken homes.
Yeah.
They've been together since they were 17.
Yeah.
My dad was like, I'm moving to Hawaii.
Yeah.
I want
Still
to surf. I
together?
want to surf. They were passed away in 15. My dad passed away in 15. So
Okay.
that's life. It is. I
Sorry,
had a great
Kyle.
father, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
17, young and in love.
I think they were together like 45 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So and she was like, "Yeah, I'll go with you." Moved to Maui. My dad was a regular foot. Loved
Yeah.
Honolulu.
Yeah.
I think they were there for a while, and then they moved to. My dad fell in love with Kalapana.
Wow.
So he bought a piece, 3 acres in
Yeah.
Hawaiian Acres for like
$2.
probably like
Yeah.
$2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Built the whole house.
Wow.
Did the whole electricity, solar. Amazing. I don't know how he did it in 1981,
Yeah.
82. And then I popped out 83. And it was, Big Island was fun. I appreciate it now.
Hunting and fishing and everything too, or just mostly surf?
No.
That was not a hunter or fisherman.
No. We
Yeah.
lived in such a camping environment.
Yeah.
Like if it was, your birthday or our birthday, we're going to the hotels. We're gonna have a nice dinner. We're gonna, we're going to Kona Surf, and we're gonna have that. It wasn't camping.
Yeah.
Which kind of is hard now because my wife loves camping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Can we go to Turtle Bay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's, because my grow up was camping. You know what I mean? So it was fun.
Come on, you gotta take Bear, man. Your son
We
Bear.
camp in the backyard now.
Yeah, okay. At least there's at least
I mean, somebody reached out to me, but Oahu doesn't have that many great.
Yeah, it is.
Because Big Island, you can go down one road
Yeah.
and camp.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oahu's kind of like.
Yeah, it's not for campers. You're right, 100%.
Yeah, you're next to the person in the van that looks a little
Yeah.
sketchy. Like
Yeah.
I don't want that. No.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
but luckily the place we live now is just amazing. You know, we camp in the back. There's a horse. It's looking over. It's right across from Monster Mush.
Wow.
So it's like it's a magical. So our backyard is perfect. Fine.
Right,
Yeah.
And did Dad teach you Taekwondo? When
He tried to.
Me too.
I think I got like a stripe. I
Yeah.
think I got to one kata or whatever it
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
and then I was just like,
No,
I just want to serve.
boring.
I just want to serve.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
want to serve all day long. So
How old were you when you caught your first weight with Dad?
4, 5, maybe
okay,
on the front of the board. Yeah. But then I boogie board.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s, boogie boarding was
Yeah.
Fred Booth, Kaino McGee.
Kinda.
Shout out to those guys. I
Yeah.
mean, that was like, I had my Custom X Fred Booth model, which is kind of funny.
Jackie Booter, right?
I work with Fred Booth.
No way.
Yeah, I work with them Wednesdays and Thursdays. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I have Custom X, you know? And then my dad would tease me, and I was like, all right, I'll start surfing. Started surfing at 10 or 11, and then
Right.
just ran from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your son's a goofy foot. You're a goofy foot. His father's a regular foot. How funny is that?
It's pretty funny. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And he's, and this is just parenting. Like, you can't, and I learned it from others because I think I was so scarred from seeing all the guys next to me that had the dad that was like,
Yeah.
get out there.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
back out there. So my son was like, hey, you want to do it? No? Okay, cool. You want
That's
to play in the
beautiful.
short break? That's fine.
That's beautiful.
Because, but if he does get into it, and that's the only life lesson I'm learning, I will push him to 100%.
Right.
Because, I mean, God rest him, I love my dad, but, like, he didn't see the fire in me to push me a little bit.
Got it.
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
Okay.
you did great. Like, I would lose in a Hassa contest.
Yeah.
And I'd go out and surf the peak over and kill it. Kind of goes back to what we were talking
Yeah.
earlier about the mental game.
Yeah.
In the heat, I would, fall over. Then I'd go to the peak over at privates on Only and just, boom, kill it. And I'm like, and he wouldn't say anything to me. So it's kind of like I'm taking that knowledge. Okay, I loved how my dad didn't pressure me, didn't yell at me, but he didn't also see the potential of like,
I
you
was
know
like
what I mean?
that with my son too. My son's 30 now, and,
Yeah.
and only recently, I mean, he got married a couple of years, 2 years ago, and around the wedding time, and we spent, we're drinking whiskey and all that, and he goes,
Yeah.
and I goes, but you were just talking. He goes, Dad, I wish you would be a little more like your dad, like push you more. And I came from a different. My parents were like gnarly, so I go, you know what? I want my son to find his own path, his own passion, rather than me pushing my shit on him, you know?
Yeah, see, that's a hard part. I mean,
know,
but
I
you
mean,
look
yeah.
back and then you can't have guilt on that. You know,
You know
what I
what?
mean?
That's a very controversial issue. I had the same thing with my daughter.
Yeah.
Either to send her to karate or not.
Yeah.
By the time she said she doesn't want to, I said no. We started it.
Yeah.
We paid it for the first 3 months.
Yeah.
And you'll have to stay.
Yeah.
Now she's doing it for 2.5 years and she loves it.
Right.
So sometimes it's a very fine line, but
Yeah.
you need to give a little bit of a.
Yeah, it's you
little
don't
bit of
know.
a-
That's the thing with
Yeah.
parenting because it's like,
You can always stop after.
yeah, but at least
Yeah.
finish the game.
Yeah.
Because my wife, she tells the stories where like she would quit halfway through a soccer season.
Mm.
Her parents are like, we don't want to do that, it's fine. And she's like, no, it's better. Like he did baseball last year, and he was
Mm.
kind of over. He striked out, started crying, like we were talking earlier, and and she's like, no, you're finishing the season.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this, even though. And guess what? He actually did good. He likes baseball, and then COVID hit, and no more
Yeah.
baseball. But it is
But
what
I
it
think
is.
that's a very good lesson.
Yeah, no, parenting is the hardest thing in the world. I mean, like, I try to tell the guys that are about that, I'm like, there's life before you had kids, life after.
100%.
Because, like, sleep goes out the window, the stress of why is it crying? I don't know why it's crying. You start fighting with your wife on that. It's like, life before and after is...
Kyle, I'm 56 now. My kids are all grown up, and I just picked up this book, and I wish I had this book when I was younger.
Cool. Lay it on me, lay it on me.
I'm going to give you the book before we leave, and
Okay.
I wish I read this, and I think it would change the dynamic of your entire family.
Yeah,
The second book just came out, and I told my kids are grown up, and I go, hey, listen, the second book, I want everyone to read it, so therefore we can
Yeah.
be in the same wavelengths together. It's called Awakening Family. And it was so powerful. But the book talks about basically, it's like, you see so many kids, young and the parents impose all these will on them, almost like create their own future for them.
Well, they want, it's like, I get that question. It's like, oh, Barry can be a fighter. I'm like, no. If he wants to be, I'll give him the best avenues, make him sure he doesn't fall in the same mistakes I have. But no. I mean, he is, and this is also the thing I always say, is like, I don't want to be a fighter, but he's not going to be a victim. Yeah. My dad used to say that to me. You won't be a victim. My son, and the funny thing is, and this is a funny story, is right now he's kind of living like a little pod thing right now, just so he can play with some of his friends during this whole thing. And
how old is he? How old is Bear? 8.
But he did he would always be on the mat with me since all the gyms I used to teach at. I took him to one class at Alliance, it's like, here you go, Rexy, here goes my son, and he was like the kid on, laying on the mat on the corner, just not doing anything. Okay, the gym's not for you, that's fine. But he always sees me training people. Right. He always sees me people holding mitts or doing jujitsu. Yeah. Kids listen. Yeah. They watch, especially, some kids, they're always listening. Yeah. And go back to the story, I picked up the kid and the girl, I think she's like a purple belt. She's like, oh my God, I made the kids wrestle today? She's like, Bear double-legged the kid and did a backpack on him, perfectly. And I was like, that's my boy. But he doesn't know that.
Right. He's just been watching you all
He's
these
been in the
years.
garage with me, just playing with his Legos or his Hot Wheels. But he's watching. Because my wife trains. Yeah. So he sees me and him or buddies come over and it's like, so that's the thing that if you at least expose the kid to it, they'll pick up on it. They want. They might go, hey, I like my car. My son's a big car guy. Loves cars. He sees a 1972 El Camino.
8 years old.
Oh.
Car guy.
And I'm not a car guy. I know I changed my tire.
Hot Wheels when he was little, was early on, he loved cars.
You know those shows on Netflix like Rust Valley?
Yes.
He's watched. I had to buy him episodes of Gotham Garage. Literally had to buy him, and he'll just watch that, and he'll be like, we were at Cholo's the other day, maybe a month ago, and then somebody had El Camino parked, and he was he literally went there 3 times, left the table, and come back and be like, Dad, there's a 1972, cool. And he knows because of the lights. This is not me. This is just his thing. So I'm like, all right. I just bought him a car kit, the little plastic things, a 1976 Shelby. I might be wrong the year. So psyched. And he sat there and he built it in 2 hours. Of course it's all glued and messed up, but he's like, here it is. Look at the engine, Dad. You know what I mean? He's got it down. It's so cool to see, okay, that's your avenue. But going back to it, I will train him. Yeah. Because he's a big, he's Filipino too, but he's a big white kid. He got my skin, my eyes. Somebody around the world. Yeah, he's got blonde hair. Somebody, not out of Hawaii, anywhere, somebody's going to go, hey, I'm going to pick a fight with you. And hopefully he can talk his way out of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's not going to be a victim. Yeah. That's the thing. If he wants to be a fighter, cool. That's on him. I'll help him the best, but I'm never going to force him to be a surfer. Never going to force him to be a fighter.
So how did you become a pro surfer in the beginning?
I just love surfing. Like I said, it was absolutely the worst obsession you can think of.
Wait, who was your hero? What were some of the poster?
Wow.
Plus, I had an afro. So.
You had an afro?
Oh, dude. Ask anybody I went to high school with from up until I remember looking at, I think I was at U.S. Open, and looking at the jacks, I caught myself in a reflection. I was like, and I had a hat on backwards, and I had this,
coming out.
I was like, no wonder I wasn't getting any girls that trip. I have no idea why. But I had this so that's why I started shaving my head.
That's so
But yeah, Rob Machado was I watched Drifting, Good Times, the show, that whole generation, that was everything to me. And so, so that was fun. That was everything. And then Jiu-Jitsu and martial arts was not until I was 20, and I started lifeguarding, and one of my coworkers, Carrie Atwood.
Before
you're going too fast. There's so many meat there.
Yeah, there's so much meat. There's so much meat.
I didn't even drink a Red Bull or anything yet. I know.
I just really want to kind of understand, how did it change your perspective from being a surfer into becoming a lifeguard? What changed?
Well, that's actually 2 different stories, to be honest. From where I became a lifeguard, I think my parents were you're going to college. I was that last generation where your parents that's what you do. Yeah. You go to high school, you go to college. I went to HPU for 6 months and was didn't go to any classes, just surf the North Shore and chase girls, you know what I mean? That was what I did. So got out of that and I was I like helping people. I like medical stuff. So I went to KCC, tried to become a paramedic. And, that's kind of expensive, a long class. And then I ran into a lifeguard friend of mine at Auchan. And he's like, hey, there's tryouts. You should go try out. I was like, oh, that was kind of hard to become a lifeguard. He's like, no, just go try out. Like, do you have all your this, that, and everything? Got all my certifications. Went down there, tried out. And I remember calling my dad
19, 20 years old?
20 years old.
20 years old.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I could barely drink at that time. So,
At least legally.
At least legally, yeah. And then I told my dad, I was like, I'll do it part-time. I remember, like, vividly where I was on the phone telling my dad, like, I'll just do it part-time until something better comes around. You know what I mean? And then I worked on the east side, worked at Hanauma Bay, worked at Sandy's, which, was just a learning experience.
Yeah.
Okay, you're at Hanauma Bay. There's 1,000 people face down.
Yeah.
Which one's drowning or which one's dead? Just losing your mind.
I never thought about
I
it
never
that
thought
way.
about it either, right?
Yeah.
That's so true.
It's
What?
crazy. Yeah, it's the craziest thing. And then it's like, so you learn that aspect. And then you go to Sandy's and you're trying to like...
Put people's body parts back together.
Yeah, you're just dealing with like guys trying to fight you because you go to the bathroom, and it's like Sandy's is a daytime nightclub. It's just a scene.
If you're at Sandy's and you see like a someone, you know they're gonna get it.
It's a little bit more. It's just the background noise is so much than Hanauma. Hanauma is just it's a confined space. This is the kind of demographic I work with. People that paid, they watch the video, they come down. 99% tourist.
Yeah.
Know what I got to do with. Watch the slot, watch those areas. Sandy's is just like, there's a girl basically wearing nothing over there. There's a fight over there. The music's blasting there. There's, it's like...
And there's a couple of kids with their necks broken.
Yeah. You got, Barbara from Santa Barbara coming down with her whammo and about to go out. So it's like, it's a great place to learn. You know what I mean? Then you go to Waimanalo and you learn, just how to deal with Waimanalo.
Yeah, Nalo.
Yes, and it's kind of changed since we've gotten kind of like we're in need of guys.
Yeah.
Places are short, so, and I was actually talking to a new lifeguard. I think he just came in this year, and he was kind of like, he got shoved up to the North Shore way too quick. And he was having a couple bad days, and I was like, hey, man, I know you're not going to, I saw him at the end of the day just kind of frazzled.
Yeah.
Nice guy. And I was just like, you're not going to want to hear what I want to say. He's like, what? I was like, you came up here too quick. You don't know how to lifeguard. Yeah, you live out here, you surf logs, got it. You don't know how to become a lifeguard. To be honest, you don't know how to become a real lifeguard until like 10 years in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's what I was asking. Like,
Yeah.
what changed? Now you look at the ocean differently, right?
100%.
Okay, so what is that? What is that?
Well, it's this. It's not. Well, surfing's selfish, right?
Yeah.
I want to go surf that way.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy killed it. Cool. But now you're looking at the kids in the shore break. That guy's kind of paddling weird. Well, what's that little head bobbing in the rip? Okay, it's a west direction, so we got to worry about that. You know what I mean? Is it a rising swell? So it's like all those factors are now into it. We're surfing before, like, bro, let's go surf Rockies. You know what I mean? That's all you care about. Like, it's 4 feet. Let's go surf Rockies. I don't care. Like, I've seen people going paddle past somebody that needs help.
Yeah.
They just don't
Don't
know.
know. Yeah.
So it changed.
Do you ever regret that you changed your hobby, or you brought your playground of your hobby into your business and with risk, and it's a different approach?
Never.
now? Never.
Best decision I ever made in my life. There's, 2 things that best decision I made in my life was becoming a lifeguard and starting martial arts. Those are the 2 things that have been the best things I ever had in my life.
Was it hard to come to become a lifeguard from being a surfer? The first couple of years,
I mean, yeah, 100%. You don't know anything. You don't. You just.
But you think you do, but you don't.
Lifeguarding and surfing, 2 different things.
Who were your mentors then? Who do you look up
on
to?
the east side, there was like Billy Goodwin, Loganville. There was Pete Irwin. There was so many guys. Noah Spencer, Kenji Granberg. These guys they're still there. They're Makapu, and they're just the OGs, and they just.
The Hanayuin.
I mean, it helped I was from the Big Island, because I remember one guy first day, he's like, where are you from? I'm like, Big Island? He's like, okay.
All right.
Like, especially if you say from Hilo, it's like, oh, okay. You lived, you didn't grow up someplace.
No, you deserve to be here. You're from Hilo and a Holly kid like you.
Oh, I have a 3rd grade picture of, Miss Ishikawa's class. I had the group picture of everybody's face.
Yeah.
I still post it once in a while.
Listen, when you post that melting pot pose,
that's the
but
photo. That was the photo.
You never write anything long in your post. I read every word, and I fucking Kyle.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
That was so powerful, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
could
was
be.
so money. Now, this is the beginning where the whole world was like, Black Lives Matter, all that shit. And here he is. There's a picture of his when he was a. You tell the
I
story.
think I
I'll
was
shut
second
up.
grade.
Yeah.
No, it's a classic photo. I remember going home for whatever Christmas. My mom was going through the photos, and I was like, oh my god, it's my third grade picture of Waikea, I think. Waikea, Hilo school, and
Yep.
it was like every race you can think of, but the minority was the Caucasian white, and that's me, like smack in the middle. It was like Popolo, Japanese, Chinese, every demographic except for the white person. Yeah, and it was just me, and I blew out in the front, like. And I posted that because there was a lot going on. It was like the fear from coronavirus kind of subsided and went into this race thing.
Yeah.
And everybody was having like, where do you stand? Where do you stand? It's like, I stand as don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Because I never had that.
I stand towards humanity.
I never looked towards a Popolo person, a Chinese person, Vietnamese, and go, oh, I fucking hate that guy, because of that. It's like, because I was a minority. I've seen on this side, so I don't. And I see white people when they move here, Holly people or whatever, Caucasians, they move here and they kind of trip out. They're like, why am I treated this way? Why am I called this? And I'm like, it's just the way it is, man. It's like.
What's the best advice for them, for all those who the funny thing is, Kyle, here's the truth. The world look at us like paradise.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So they do everything they can. You save thousands of dollars. You work 5 jobs and you come here. For that moment in time, you get to experience paradise. And for those who actually take the further step, sell everything they have and move here, right? And the 7 to 12 days vacation versus reality, especially you come from mainland, your skin's, not my color, what advice would you give for all the Malihini that actually come in from Hawaii, from other places?
Don't try to change it.
Yeah.
Because they want to change it. It's like gentrification, all that stuff. It's like, well, I want a Starbucks here. It's like, no, we're not doing Starbucks. We're keeping it somewhat local of like Sunrise Shack, Wine Aroma. Like, we don't want that. And then just be cool and don't have a little thicker skin. You are now, I don't know. I've never been in South Carolina and dealt with that. I'm not, I don't know.
You wouldn't have any problem in South Carolina, my friend.
I know, but I'm like saying that I was, Popolo or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that to that level.
Yeah.
But I do the level where, like, my wife's from Colorado, but she's half Filipino, half white, and she pulled the Filipino side. She looks like a local girl.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful, by the way.
Thank you very much. Yeah, she's a beast too, man.
Yeah.
Whew, I rolled with her today. Those leg locks. Woo! I'm an idiot.
I think I'd rather roll with her than you.
I'm an idiot for teaching those things.
I'd rather roll with her than you any day.
Yeah. So she's, everybody always thinks she's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
But the love I respect for her is she doesn't claim it. Because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're Hispanic, and they come here and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm Hawaiian." It's like,
no,
you're not. Dude, don't play it. That's actually the worst thing for me is when people fake it.
Yeah.
Don't fake it. Be real to yourself. You're the one who got to look in the mirror. You're gonna tell everybody. All of a sudden now you got a freaking ma'o on. You're freaking Hawaiian. It's like, but back she experienced a couple times. I think we went to a restaurant one time, and it was like I think it was in Kaneo or somewhere, and like I was the one white guy, and I'm holding my son who's white as can be too, and this guy fully
like
just like overlooked us and like oh, what do you got? What do you need, brother? What do you need over there? And I was like, okay, whatever. And my wife was like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I was like, hey, that's just the way it is.
It is.
It is what it is. We got pulled over by a cop one time outside Schofield.
Ooh.
That was the best because we were in a car with no registration, whatever. You know what I mean? Just a beat up car, and the cop was this like. She was driving, grabbed her ID. Her middle name's Ivalani because her mom's from here.
Right.
And he just glared at me, big Hawaiian guy, got his ID. Comes to this side.
Yeah.
And like still doesn't even look at me.
Yeah.
Here you go, Miss Ivalani. Happy birthday. Tell brother over here, hits me in the chest. Better put his seatbelt on. I was just like full on, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, whatever. We didn't get a ticket. I'm cool with that. But you could tell, like, we got pulled over right in front of Schofield. I had a shaved head. White guy, Hawaiian-looking girl.
Blue
So
eyes.
it's just like, it is what it is. If it gets to the point where we're seeing on the mainland where it's that level that I don't really know about, then it's different. But Hawaii it's such a great thing that we have stereotypes.
Yeah.
We call you Portuguese, call you a flip, call you Holly.
Yeah.
Water off a duck's back. It's fine. You know what I mean?
We don't mean anything by it.
We don't mean about it.
Yeah,
we don't
we
mean
really
anything
don't.
about
We don't
it.
mean
And people
anything
don't
about
get
it.
that. They go like, well, I'm not a Holly. It's like, yeah, you are, dude.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But you come down to are you a good person?
Yeah, we measure everyone
Yeah.
here by your heart.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Because I've
Yeah,
seen, the pinky toe Hawaiians, they try their best but they get shut out and they get shit talked behind their back. But like, I've never had a problem. Yeah, I've been called a white guy and it's like, whatever. I still smile. I don't care. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You try to hurt me or my family, then that's a different case. But I've never had that problem since high school.
But I have to admit, and I know that's maybe I shouldn't bring that topic.
What's up?
But also for us, the white people that come here,
Yeah.
I don't want to claim anything the white people did to the Hawaiian people in the 1800s. It's not me. I shouldn't get that. I shouldn't get that hate.
Yeah, but people like the blame game. It is, and it's like you should.
But they also need to be understand. Not every white person is part of the.
It's.
You know what I mean?
I'm blaming you
Israel.
because I know.
Right? Why would I get that attitude? You know
People
what I mean?
that are not happy with their lives will blame you for their problems. It's just looking at themselves and going, okay,
I
and
see it
true.
the same.
And I'm not going to say anything. People have been oppressed all over the world.
Yeah.
Most countries have been taken over. France took over Tahiti. I forget who went. I think it was the English.
Great
went to
Britain,
Thailand.
bro, everywhere almost.
Great Britain just went like,
Yeah.
mine,
Yeah.
everything's mine, you know what I mean?
Mine.
So, like, I remember being in Tahiti and the family I was staying with, that was right, I think Tahiti wanted to separate from France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Tahitian family I stayed with, the guy was like, okay, cool, no Coca-Cola for you, no this, no that, because everything comes from France.
Yeah.
He's like, people will lose their freaking mind.
Yeah.
You got conquered. It sucks. The whole world got conquered by somebody. There was a bigger, and I always use the analogy, everybody has their beliefs, how we all started. But it's basically we all come from apes in a sense.
Yep.
It's like, I want your bananas.
Yeah.
I take your bananas. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's sad. I have there's no right to it, but it is what it is. The only way we can get through it is just, besides the financial part, poverty, high, rich, and all that stuff, is just be nice to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's all we can do. Because what I do today affects. I can handle how I treat you, how I treat him, how I treat you right now. That's the only thing I can control. I can't sit there and go, I'm sorry for what Dole Plantation, Mr. Dole did to your,
family
back in the day. But, it's people, I'm pretty sure their chiefs too had a little sign. I remember how the sandalwood got ripped off on the Big Island, got chopped down because they wanted to trade it to, and I shouldn't even say it because I don't have the facts straight, but it's like they wanted nails, they wanted guns. We'll trade you sandalwood, we'll trade you women, we'll trade this. So it's like, it's a slippery slope, and it's happened all around the world. It's not just Hawaii. It's Africa. I mean, look at South Africa, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? It's like, it's sad. We are a weird species.
And I know I don't surf the North Shore, but I know it translates also into the water. There's some water rules.
It is. It's gotten a lot relaxed, I say, in 2020. I mean, when I first here, it was like, there was a guy named Roadblock or Cinder. No, Roadblock. And he would break fins off. There was Perry Dane. There was, there was Johnny Boy.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Wait. What's up with Perry? Is he still at VLAN? How old is Perry?
I haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't seen Perry forever.
I see him with his boat.
I haven't seen him in the water either.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him. He was fishing for a while at Waimea when the coolie and all that stuff would come in.
Yeah, Perry sent me in from VLAN. Perry sent me in from VLAN.
Yeah.
I mean, from Haleiwa.
I think everybody's had a run
and
in.
one day he shows up at the factory at Blue Hawaii because I work for Laminami, and here it is, Perry Dane. He's a team rider.
Oh,
he
man.
goes, hi, Perry.
It's gotten better. I mean, there's still you got the boys. Yeah. For sure. It's definitely, if Makua pals out.
Yeah.
He's getting the waves.
Yeah.
Koa pals out. It is what it is. But it's definitely not how it used to be. Like, I got to see that last taste of like the old school Volcom House or just the junior.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, V-Line, that where I was just in the channel just scared for my life, you know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely changed.
Yeah.
It's a little more relaxed. I mean, especially the last couple of years, I remember paddling out the pipe and I heard more of a different language than English.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely, I kind of miss it.
I
miss it a
know.
little
This
bit.
is what we want to get into. It's okay with you.
Yeah.
But it was like, I got, Kyle, I got here in mid-'80s,
Yes.
right? Finished college, and my dream was surfing pipe. So 80-something, I sold, I didn't have anything. I got a backpack and a brand new 6'4", thinking I'm going to go surf the North Shore, just like the movie North Shore. I got to pipe, not even 4 feet, got so pounded and never came back. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's it. So I go,
That's
you know
it.
what? What's next? Jocko's. Right? So I
The
ended
poor
up,
man's pipeline.
the pussy
Poor
pipeline.
man, there you
The
go.
pussies. And I ended up, the Jocko turned out to be one of
Jocko's is nuts.
I know.
I've
I
done
know.
some rescue out there. That place is
Oh,
serious.
no. You don't even know. So I
Yeah.
know when I die, my family knows half of my ashes is going to be a Jocko, then half's going to Honolulu Bay because
Perfect.
I live in Malibu for a couple of years.
Sick.
Anyway, so I saw back then, in the mid 80s, like, it was really Perry Dane, Johnny Boyd, the whole crew regulates the North Shore, right?
Yeah.
And then right before I left, moved to Maui, I'm beginning to see Brazilian coming
Yeah.
into the lineup. And for the first time ever, I've seen guys. I remember one guy, you might remember Keith and Terry Carotina?
Yeah, I know Keith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keith was a goofy foot too. He's always at Jocko.
Killed it, Haleiwa, too.
Oh, yeah.
God.
So is Terry, right? So,
Yeah, there, yeah.
long story longer, and local guys, local enforcers started like getting scrapped with this Brazilian guy. And I was beginning to see like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? That guy just tell you to go in and you call him out? I was like, you're fucking crazy. You're not from here.
There's a funny side thing because I think was that like maybe in the 90s, like when Jiu-Jitsu was
Yes.
kind of hearing.
Yeah.
And I hear from the old lifeguards where like some of the Brazilian guys they didn't train at all, but they use that. Like, oh man, I know Jiu-Jitsu, and they're like the local guy, be like, oh crap, I don't know Jiu-Jitsu. Like
I didn't know
heard
anything about Jiu-Jitsu in the 90s. I didn't
but
start
like
till 2007.
it was such a mystique to it, and only Brazilians knew
but
it.
Helson
yeah.
was here.
Yeah.
I heard a story that Johnny Helson used to put little notes on Foodland North Shore. You wanna scrap? Here's my phone number.
Yeah.
And that's how he got his students. So
Yeah.
guys will call him, local guys will call him, and he would submit him, and then that's how, I don't know, this is all story.
No, that's pretty much it, yeah.
Tatanaka should be here to tell the story, but I would love to, North Shore is 2005, I would love to kind of hear from your perspective, and also the older lifeguard, because back in the day, how you think about it, right, the pro circuit used to be like Hawaiian, Californian, Australian.
Yeah.
2020, you look at the top 16, it's like we have John and have Seth from Hawaii, right? And then it's all Brazilian,
Yeah.
and a few guys from California, a few guys from like this industry has changed so much.
They just want it more, to be
Yeah,
honest.
isn't that
I
funny?
think it's just a change. I mean, I was like, it was all Hawaiians and Californians, and the Australians came in and just dominated.
Right.
And it's just a wave. It'll go through its cycle, and hopefully, it's fun of it. I mean, I'm entertained. I don't know Gabriel. I know Adriano, those guys, and they're all super friendly guys.
Yeah.
It's so I have no problem as long as you're not a
Nice
dick.
human being, yeah.
Like, once it comes back to that, I don't care if you're purple, green, or I don't really care. It's like, but I mean, I was coming to the North Shore when I was really young, so like maybe late 90s. I moved here in 2000. As soon as I graduated high school, I graduated 2001. I think I graduated May 25th and June 1st. I was, out of the North Shore, like freaking,
See ya,
yeah.
Kalapana.
That's all I wanted. Ship my car over, yeah. And so I still got to see that was when the Volcom days, Kala
Yes,
and then
Kala,
Kyborg,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so it was that was scary too, because
Yeah.
that was real regulation too. It was kind of went from Dane Aloha guys to
Yes.
that crew, and that crew was they knew how to scrap.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a false crack. Those guys would
Yeah.
really, they'd come after you.
Yeah,
you know
they,
what I mean?
they
So-
had some skill.
yeah, so it got a little too extreme where the whistle came out and stuff, I think. But
What was that?
like if somebody dropped in on somebody, I think it was somebody would blow a whistle from the Volcom house,
No
and that
way.
meant somebody's getting their butt kicked,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, so it's where now I think it kind of needs to come back a little bit, just because it's crazy. It's I went up pipe the other day and it was a bunch of kids from Kailua and a bunch of boogie boarders and just what do you want? 6'3"? Cool, bro. I got this. All right, let's go eat bonsai bowls after. You know what I mean? It's
Chad Owen showing up a pipe, first time ever.
This guy
6
has
foot
balls.
I know, 6 foot days. But that's what
Yeah.
Kyle's talking about.
So does that makes your guys' work actually harder? All the tourists and all the influx and
Are you talking about this year or just in general?
Well, in general, I know this year there was no tourists, so you.
Well, no, now it's just it's a different challenge because nobody has a job, nobody has all the things that people on this island like to do, like go basketball, whatever. They can't do it due to this regulations and tier system. So it's now I heard the Fins has sold out, longboards have sold out, things are selling out because surfing's free. I can go surf. Well, bro, let's go to Keiki. Let's go Pupukea. And it's like, we're seeing people that should not be in the water just going on out. So it's like, it should have been a quiet year for lifeguarding, but I think it's going to be worse. Because at least with pro surfing, those guys know what they're doing. You can't catch a wave, but they're going to do an air 360 and come back down and land it, where these people are like on a wave storm going backwards. So it's what we signed up for. I mean, I love it.
Is that different? Like every beach has a different like scale of like challenge.
Every place is different. Rescue at Haleiwa is way different at Sunset. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's, and most of it is, I mean, usually you always take something. You always take your board, fins, and tube. Obviously, you're not going to take a board out to Keiki to go do a rescue. I mean, Waimea, you can go down the corner, paddle out, but if you do a rescue at Jocko's, you need a board, fins, and tube, everything, just in case you lose the board. You know what I mean? So it's, every place is different. That's why you can spend easily, like I said, 10 years learning each spot and having the rescues and losing the board and, oh God, I got to get the guy in a certain way, trial and error. But the funny thing with lifeguarding is, and I get this question all the time, it's like, did you rescue anybody today? How many rescues did you have this week? And usually my answer is like, maybe a couple or zero. And they're like, you see their face like, And I think that's the big misconception with lifeguarding is like, we're all about being proactive, not reactive. You know what I mean? And I think that was the older school, like the 80s, from what I heard from the older guys, obviously, that it was like, oh, watch this guy go out. Go get him. You know what I mean? Like, where now it's like, to be a lifeguard, it's not just do the rescue. It's also a psychological thing. So you just came here from Illinois. You brought your whole family. Kids are screaming. They want to go to the beach. You spent $10,000 to get here. Okay, you go to Waimea. You just pulled up there, and it's 6 feet. Get out of the car. And then you go down there, and here comes me. Say I'm 21 at the time. You're 54. Now, a 21-year-old surfer bro-looking kid is going to tell you can't do something. Now, I have to tell you this, and I can do it either like, hey, fucking beat it, or I can go, hey, you know what I mean? And that's the whole hard part of lifeguarding is trying to figure out trying to read people energy. Because I learned that the hard way. I got in so many fights at Waimea trying to just be like, I'm the man, get out of here. And all of a sudden, my bad energy is meeting you, telling you can't do something like you're a kid. So your energy gets mad and you come at me, and then all of a sudden it's, an argument, and I'm getting flipped off or whatever. I got my car keyed one time, It's where nowadays...
I actually have a question that I wrote. How hard is it to turn off the fighter and turn on the rescuer?
Fighter has helped me be a better lifeguard.
Okay.
I totally see that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys both train. You know martial arts usually brings out the bully in somebody or the better person.
Warrior. The peaceful warrior.
Because I know the baddest mans in the room. I mean, just the assassins, like Muay Thai fighters, MMA fighters. 9 times out of 10, those are the nicest guys in the world.
100%.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Everybody we met is like that.
Yeah. It's usually the ones that are like, doing Cobra Kai that are like, you're not that good.
It's the white
you don't have a record.
It's the blue belt ego, right?
Yeah.
Well, all of us as blue belt, we want to pick a fight on the street to see how it works. Like, we all have that thoughts, and thank God.
Me never.
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah.
As a blue belt, you want to test this shit.
Yeah,
right?
bro, I got you.
Yeah. And finally, thank God I didn't. And now looking back, that is a stupid thought. But you always want to know, does this shit really work?
Well, you think you got given a superpower, and so that little you got picked on in 7th grade. That kid comes out, and all of a sudden,
exactly,
it can mess you up. So,
do you see the resemblance in, rescuing someone, focusing, taking it down a notch so you understand what to do, just as when you on the mat and you're in jiu-jitsu and you're getting choked, you got to come down, assess the situation? And do you think there is a resemblance?
100%. I mean, like I said, the 2 best decisions I made was becoming a lifeguard and martial arts. Martial arts made me so much better of a person. I mean, I have not been in a fight unless I signed a contract since the day one I started jiu-jitsu. Because before I was like, you call me Hallie, okay, I can start swinging, freaking, and it was like.
How many years ago is that when you first signed up for your first jiu-jitsu lesson, and who was it with?
Old Rec Center, across from Foodland, Pupukea. That was Marcelo Kyborg. Those days, it was like, we rented out that thing, and it took me. I wasted a year because my coworker Carrie Atwood was like, "Dude, you would love jiu-jitsu." And I was like, roll around with a bunch of dudes.
Sweat on each other.
Oh, dude, I'm going surfing.
Yeah.
And then he kept on, and I think he finally, because I was, 20, and he was like, dude, there's a bunch of girls there. I was like, okay. And I remember I went there, and I remember going home, and I couldn't, that first day, everything's locked up.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a car wreck. My legs were sore. And I remember calling my mom and just being like, I found my calling. Like, I was immediately, the first
there.
day.
First day.
And I never stopped. I mean, I went to I think I wanted more. And I think at the rec center, it was only Monday, Wednesday, Friday's open mat. And there was Central Oahu up in Wahiawa.
Yeah.
So I paid Marcelo tuition there, and then he was teaching up there, and I'd go up and pay another tuition up there. And I would just every night, because it was, also I started martial arts too, I think I was sick of being at home. And after you surf all day or work, I would sit at home, drink beer, watch TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm kind of over it. I need something
Else.
more.
Yeah.
And so I think that was another reason to get me going.
Did it speak to you right away, Jiu-Jitsu, first class, or it took you a while? Is it right away?
I used to do Muay Thai for many years before I did Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And
Like him.
I just got submitted by a 18-year-old girl, and then I signed up and never stopped.
Oh, okay. So Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So first class.
Rich
I know,
said, just stay for no gi. What do you have to lose?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
already sweaty. Just stay. Then I got choked out, and
that
never
was
stopped.
it. And you signed up right there and then.
100%.
In the class, you fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu itself right there and then boom, it spoke to you.
I hated it and I loved it. I hated the fact that people are sweating on me.
Oh, you don't like that.
It was hard for me to
overcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't care.
Yeah, now you don't give a
But
shit.
in the beginning, someone is choking you and he's dripping on you.
Nothing worse to get that one drop in your mouth.
Yeah,
Like
and you
that.
cannot breathe.
we all
And
did.
obviously you cannot
Starts
we
to
all
sting,
did
you're like,
it.
oh,
So you're with your mouth
We all-
open and
yeah,
you're
we
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you get used to it. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, now, I think jiu-jitsu people are the most you got blood on me,
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's they really don't care. It's fine. You know what I mean? That's why I was laughing. I'm not laughing, but when this whole thing happened this year, I was like, jiu-jitsu guys aren't going to care,
Yeah,
dude. They've
exactly.
had, what's that, ringworm? Let's go straight. It's we don't care.
Tape it really good.
Put a Band-Aid on it. You know what I mean? We'll be
Let's
fine.
finish the roll.
I want to really roll. You know what I mean? It's been a couple days. I need to roll. Yeah.
That's
Just
so
some bleach
true.
on it. You'll be all right. Just put some bleach on it. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
It is. So, yeah. We're back to
I have no idea.
But yeah,
we're going down this rabbit
martial
hole of
arts
Jiu-Jitsu.
definitely helped me with lifeguard.
Yeah.
For sure. Because, it just made me be calm how to talk, especially teaching jiu-jitsu. As I got up to pro, I started teaching classes. And so to explain somebody a simple knee cut, okay, just throw your knee across. You can't do it like that. You know what I mean? You got to be like, okay, guys, which direction you go to. Okay, when their knee goes, your foot's going to be right underneath it. You're going to staple the leg down. You're going to dive on it. All these little details, you got to break it down. So when it comes to lifeguard, I'm like, okay, I got to talk to you. Hey, man, what's your plan today? We got some rip today. You got the little ones, and you just got to, you find your stick. So it's lifeguard is not as easy as just put on your trunks, go surf, talk to some girls, do a rescue, and that's it. It's a lot of psychological.
Yeah.
Because you got to talk to people all day long, and you're trapped in this building where people are constantly coming up and talk to you, ask you questions. You get every walk of life.
Yeah.
And also you got to judge a book by its cover.
Mm.
You know what I mean? The other day I saw 4 girls, super short boards, small bikinis, and we were like, oh God, here it goes.
Where?
Eoka.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
That was
But
solid
yeah, but
swell.
you judge
That
a book
was
by a
solid
cover.
swell.
You're like, oh, these girls are gonna just get demolished. Duck dove, paddled out, caught a couple ways. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot more up here than just go put sunscreen on, go. You know what I mean? So it's I
Fucking Baywatch, man.
oh,
Fuck that show.
We have the worst
Fuck that show.
marketing. We're the worst marketing in the world. Yeah,
Let me
worst.
ask you this: how they call it? Right? There's the rescue can, right? And there's a rescue floaty. What is the guy that Mitch Buchanan had at Baywatch? That,
Oh God!
with the handle.
We have 3 things basically. We have a tube, a pair of fins, a rescue board, and if we're lucky, a jet ski.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So the tube-
we're
it's
working
a
with
tube.
we're naked doing rescues. It's pretty I remember an EMS guy laughing because he's like, fire got these suits, and things, and cops got bulletproof vests. It's like even EMS got shoes on at least, with protective stuff. He's like, what do you? I'm like, pair of shorts. I have a pair of fins. Like, I'm naked.
That's actually another topic that we wanted to talk to you about because I remember me and you a couple of months ago, we talked and you said it's really hard to get stuff approved by the state. If, like, let's say people want to give you stuff for free, like, it's really hard. It needs all kind of signatures and then it's a lot of...
approval.
Yeah,
Well,
approval.
because I mean, it's that. I mean, I think it was just in the news today where like ethics, some kind of commission guy took a dinner. He's now getting fined $5,000 because it's that thing of like, it is a good intention, but you can't just say it across the board. Like, okay, yeah, you can take a bunch of fins.
But
or
let me
tubes.
ask you this: How come everybody has, like you said, such a cool gear, and you guys have to deal with saving lives? I mean, the other week at Star Advertiser, they said you rescued 56 people in one day.
I think we had 60 on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah,
You see?
yeah.
Like, why? I want you to be in like cool gear.
Goes back to marketing, man. Our budget is $2 million, I think, and that's probably
it?
yeah.
That's it?
And don't quote me. Last time I checked, it was $2 million for ocean safety, and then and I love fire. Don't get me wrong, love those guys to death. I don't like fire. I mean, actual fire.
Yeah.
Don't like that. So that's why I never wanted to be a fireman. So those guys doing what they do, shoot,
100%.
they deserve that money. But I think their budget was like $200 million. So it's like, lifeguard is just in the last 5 years, like finally kind of a little bit of like, oh, you're not Baywatch.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at the movies. They make fire movies and cop movies and shows like Cool and Rescue Me and Fahrenheit, whatever like that. And then what's lifeguarding? Baywatch. And then we redid Baywatch. Now it's The Rock, and it's still a joke. It's like, you know what I mean? And Hawaii's
they
different.
need to get a hold of Brian Calvano. That's what
I
they do.
mean, if you look at that legacy of like Brian,
you look the whole
oh
family.
my God,
Crazy.
it's Oahu's different. It's like the Big On guys do an amazing job, Maui guys, Kauai jobs, but like here is just, I couldn't lifeguard anywhere else. My mom's always like, come back home and you can live in the house rent free. I was like, no. Like I love.
Yeah.
I am probably the only person, and thank God every day I love going to work. I've been doing it for 15 years.
God bless you.
Yeah, I love my job. Like I seriously love my job, and it's like because I don't make much money, but I pay the rent.
Yeah.
Like we have to go on trips sometimes. I have a little bit of a savings account. But we live the best life ever.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got married and had a kid. Some of the older guys were like, you okay, you gotta buy a house. I was like, I don't have $1.2 million in my bank account, to live where I want to live. He's like, no. So you buy a condo in Kauai, fix it up. A year later, you sell it and go to Wahoo.
Yeah.
Or if you're lucky, Wahoo.
Fix
that up. You work your way up. So I'm like, so about the time I'm done, I'm 60 years old.
Yeah.
And I've lived my prime life
Years,
driving and fixing up and living in these places where I can at least rent the dream.
Yeah.
And that's just for me because I didn't come from money. I broke most of my 20s with $1 in my freaking pocket. Yeah. So I had to work to where I am now. I'm like, I'd rather just rent the dream. And it might work for you, it might not work for you, but like I'm living the best life ever. Like we are living the $2 million life.
Yeah,
my family
100%.
right now. Yeah, it's like I'm happy. We got a roof over our head. We got food. I live across from the beach. I'm 2 minutes away from my work.
You're a multi-millionaire.
Multi-millionaire.
Exactly.
Kyle, you're a multi. I'm in the same
North
shoes, except I don't live in the North Shore.
Yeah.
I own nothing, but I'm so lucky like you that I get to come here and do this, right? You and I get to do this, and this is work. Are you kidding me? Right? And I was out, I was out with Jen, my wife, 2 hours ago, and I saw 5 ulua, right? Like at a Publix.
Perfect.
And they're like swimming circle around me, and here I am sitting talk to Kyle, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think that's the propaganda in our country was create us to become almost inhuman, like
consumers.
Yeah, consumer. We consume, and then we think this is key to happiness. But I think what I'm hearing from you is at the beginning of the conversation, true thing that you said it was so powerful was like first thing about Bear. Man, I'm not gonna push him, but if he's into fighting, I'm in 100%.
Yeah,
I will
if he
guide
wants to
you.
be a mechanic,
Yeah.
dude, I'll pay for you to go to.
Yeah.
I don't know the schools, but whatever, we'll do it. Like I have a former junior guard.
Yeah.
I taught junior guards 13 years, so all those kids are like 26 now. It makes me feel old as hell. But like now, one of them's a mechanic, and I've actually paid him a couple times. Like, dude, I'll give you whatever 20, $30. Can he go sit with you when you work on your car?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And Bear will sit
Bear's
there and
happy.
just taking, stuff off. He loves to take stuff apart. Not real too good about putting it back together.
He's only 8. Give it a couple more years. Give it a couple more years.
Yeah, so
And the second thing you said was, I just love helping people. But I think that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to the simplicity of family, and then as long as we go out and connect with nature and get deep into that shit, life is good.
Life is good.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's it. And that's
yeah.
it. And if you can live in the servanthood mentality, and have time to do what you love, which is you can train, right? Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and time with your family, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
In so many ways. And you live in Pupukea.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, dude.
But I do see that you're super working hard. You're training down in the other side of the island. You're driving
I put the work in.
Before COVID.
Yeah.
You used to do the ride all the time. How many times a week?
I was training a lot, almost to the point where now, and going back to always being evolution, is like I was going to too many gyms. I was teaching at Alliance. I was teaching at Billy Kemper's gym, Uproar. I was training at Elite. I was, doing Boar's Nest. So I was like, so I with this whole COVID thing, it kind of put everything on hold. And I looked back and I was like, wait a minute. Like, okay, I don't need to chase the dollar bill. You know what I mean? Like, because it was like, okay, I'm going to go make that money there. I don't need to do that. Let's train me. Let's hang out with my son. Let's hang out with my wife. Let's surf more. And that's where, like, going to now where everything's kind of opening back up. It's like, I'm not going to have my class at Uproar. I had that talk with Billy and T. I was like, sorry, I want to do, I got to do this other stuff. You know what I mean? And so it's now I'm just kind of doing me in a sense. I mean, I've turned away people to do privates. I'm so blessed that way. I'm still doing it to make that little extra money, and because I love those people. They've been with me for 3-4 years. They're like family. But it's kind of, I was driving a lot, and to now I'm like only 2 times a week. I'll interchange between Elite, because maybe it's a Monday, I want to go punch in the face, whatever. And then I'll switch in and go to Alliance or something like that.
Wake me up for the week.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those guys too. It's like I'm honored just to even be in their fight camps.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, they're like, hey, you're a good jiu-jitsu guy. You've been doing MMA. Can you help me? And I'm like, yeah. Because I love it. And people are like, oh, you get paid for that? I'm like, no, because I consider we're Team Hawaii. I've said that at the beginning. We're a small island, right? Like the gym last night was like guys from all the top fighters from all over was at the gym last night helping each other get better, because some of the guys have fights, UFC, one FC, and it's like that's the way we do it. Plus, selfishly, it's kind of like almost like an internship.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had like another guy the other day was like, hey, when you go for a shot, I noticed you do a 1-2 and then you lift your head up a little bit and then you do a shot. And I was like, I didn't even know that. He's like, yeah, I'm just letting you know. Learned right there. That's worth. How much is that worth? Yeah. Have a pro fighter go, hey, you do a little twitch. Thank you, man.
Did you go back and look at the video? And
now I do it. I sparred last night, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit a 1-2. The 2's gonna be harder. I'm gonna not do this. I'm gonna do that. And it's so. I'm stoked, and if I can help any one of those guys like Martin Day or Tyson Nam make their dreams go on because they're younger than me and they got the opportunities. That makes me feel good about myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I can help somebody, that's great. It's not all about me. Like, where's my Instagram likes and that. It's like,
what I love is the same thing. What Billy said the other day was like, when he leaves Hawaii, he want to make sure he carries the Hawaiian flag. Aloha flag everywhere you go. It's the same thing. What I hear from you is like, look, it's about making the Hawaii looks phenomenal. Yeah. Represent the pride of all of us in this little rock, right? And I think that's so beautiful that we're willing to put our personal need first, and let's.
We have to.
Yeah. I mean. But that's a beautiful lens that your parents actually shaped that in your world, because that's not a lens to most people.
No, and then somebody gave me a saying maybe like 5 years ago, and it was like, okay, if we're in a dark cave, me blowing out your candle. We have 2 candles. If I blow out your candle, does that make the room brighter? Yeah. That's the same thing as me talking crap about you or being like, oh, he's not he's not good at jiu-jitsu. What does that do?
Yeah, nothing.
There's nothing. Or even hating. I mean, because Instagram is all about that. Yeah. You scroll.
Well, that's because we
you know what I mean? You see what this guy does. Oh, my God, he's got a new car, or he's got a bunch of students, or he won a world champion. We've all guilty of it. We're all going to sit there and go, or he got a boxer from Billabong. Yeah. Those little story ones, you see the guy throwing stuff. We've all felt that. We're like, well, I want my free stuff. Yeah. really, as long as you have one pair of trunks, dude, how many
only-
shirts do you need?
You can only wear one pair at a time.
Seriously, it's like, like I strictly went to like I knew Pat forever from Ruka, and I messaged him strictly because I had no trunks. I had my lifeguard trunks, and I had like a ratty pair of Ezekiel's, I think, back in the day.
Oh,
yeah, see, Ezekiel's back in the day, and I think they were just falling apart. And I was like, I seriously DM'd Pat, and I was like, hey, good seeing you. I think a couple months ago, I think it was like during winter. Shot in the dark. I literally wrote that. I was like, shot in the dark. I think my lifestyle kind of matches Ruka's lifestyle.
Yeah, of course.
Is there any way for a sponsorship? If not, don't even worry about it. I'll see you next winter. I hope the family's great. And then I, threw the phone down, whatever. And I trained, and Pat immediately messaged me back and was like, yeah, it was the best message I got, especially from a guy of his stature. It was like, I love your lifestyle, love to have it. And then from there, it boomed from just me, I just want a pair of trunks, just so I could surf, to like them sponsoring the North Shore Lifeguard Association. So it actually, me just being one there, actually ended up helping all these people out and getting us uniforms and getting us funding and just getting the word out that Lifeguard Association was kind of not there. And then with their help, blew us up. Now our junior lifeguard program's blowing up. So it's like, so
Tell
it's
us
kind
a
of.
little bit about the junior lifeguard program.
Junior lifeguard was started in '96, I think. Or no, well, actual junior guards was run by the city first. Okay. The HLA and the city would run it. So like when I first started, you kind of had like the city would be like, okay, you're off the schedule. We're going to pay you with city money, but you're going to do junior guards. And I think 2000, when was that like recession? 2012?
Wait.
It was around there? Yeah.
2008,
remember we got furlough.
2009.
What was furlough
Officially
Friday?
2008, but 2009 when the
Furlough
everything
Fridays?
shut down. Yep.
Okay, furlough Fridays, the city was like, we can't do it anymore.
Yep.
And so NSLA picked it up. And actually, to this day, we fund the whole state. Kauai, Maui, Big Island, we pay for it all.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's an awesome thing. I
So
mean,
if someone would like to help you guys to continue the junior lifeguard program, where can they donate? Where can they hit you up?
North Shore Lifeguard Association.org, or just Google North Shore Lifeguard Association. Our website come up there. There's a donate button there. Our whole story, it's I think it's it's tax deductible because I can't even say it. But
501c3.
Yes, there you go. You got it. So that could be the best way we do it. Obviously, 2020 was the first year we didn't do it. Kind of broke my streak. I think I was 14 years. It was my 14 years. Yeah, it's the best thing I ever did in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I did 2 years in Ala Moana, and at one point we had 60 kids per week.
Incredible.
It was me, Kainoa McGee, and Jeff Okiyama, and then who was it? Jimmy Burrows. 4 of us. 60 kids. Well, because a lot of them were repeatees.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, what are you going to tell a 14-year-old kid? Now, sorry,
You can't
instead
make
of you
it.
being here,
Yeah.
doing a run, swim, helping us out, being at the beach, go be at the mall.
Yeah.
So
Or doing drugs or
I'm
get in
14. I
trouble.
mean, what we did.
That's
14.
what we did.
Yeah,
freaking,
14.
Right?
So it's like, we had, come back. So we had 60 kids. I remember taking the photos, and it looked like a high school graduating class or something. It was crazy. So yeah, now to this day, we're like, my kid's first babysitter was a junior guard. There's so many. I'm stoked because it was fun. I thought most of the kids didn't like me because I was a little more strict. I was like the bad cop. The other guys were the good cops.
Yeah.
I was like the burner. You drink burners because you left trash. But my thing was like, okay, we start 12, 13 to 17.
Right.
That's young adults.
Yeah.
Those are the kids that are going to be working at
Hey,
whatever,
we-
Hot Topic,
yeah. You
Foodland,
name it.
whatever.
Yeah.
So my thing was like, I'm teaching you guys how to be responsible adults. You think you can show up late or not? If I'm your boss and I tell you, hey, go stack those boxes, and you're like, you're going to get fired, dude.
Yep.
So I always thought the kids didn't like me, and it's actually they liked the structure a little bit. Because I was fair. I wasn't like a bully, like, bow to your sensei, Cobra Kai, going back to that. I was like, hey, you did it? Cool. Go surf then. Surf break. Fine. But at least be responsible. Because if it wasn't like my son's age,
Be accountable.
Be
Right?
accountable,
And that's the
'cause
most
I-
important part.
because
Yeah, be
teenagers don't
accountable.
have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, I don't know who the parents are.
Yeah.
They could be getting picked up.
Right.
They throw clothes on the ground. The parents pick it up. So it's like, it's cool. It's cool to see them. When I saw them at 12, they're 26 now. I'm like, oh god. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
beautiful.
you made
to see
an
'em.
impact on them for them to come back and show you love and respect. That's huge.
Yeah.
You're changing lives.
Like I
man.
said, that's what we were talking earlier. Like that's the best feeling to
Yeah.
me. That's
Yeah.
better than having money in the bank.
Yeah.
Is to have somebody
touching
go,
human beings.
Kyle, you know what I mean, and wave and
Yeah.
shock at you. Like that's that's way more worth the money.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I might be a poor man from it, but
no,
like,
not at all.
I'm in the same camp with you. You're
Yeah.
not gonna die poor together. but
I'll
we're gonna
die
have
poor, but
yeah.
at least
I'm on
hopefully
the
somebody
same
shows
camp,
up.
but I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
I know you won't, man. I like that one.
I'm still learning business from this
Yeah,
guy.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Good thing you dropped out of school. I'm gonna go shishi real fast. You guys keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No
do
worries.
your
So
thing.
I wanted to ask you, how
Yeah.
is it to be married to someone that is also doing jiu-jitsu?
This is a tip to every jiu-jitsu guy.
Okay.
I'm staying for this.
Yeah, stay for this one. And this is for any guy that like surfing to any through sport.
Yeah.
It might be a problem. It might be hard, but get a woman or a man, whatever you're into, that does the sport. Because how many people you've trained with once they have a kid, once they get married?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't train that much. Oh, I can't train. You know,
Yeah.
the wife. You know, because eventually that changes. You know, you
Yes.
need to be home with the kid. You know
Yes.
love my wife to death. She knows. She loves jiu-jitsu. She loves surfing. She even now loves striking. Once again, I'm setting myself up for a wreck. Yeah, just setting myself up for a wreck. But she knows. So it's like, no matter what, you get your 2 days a week. I know you love this. You're gonna go train. Oh, you got somebody coming to the house? Like I trained with my wife this morning. Me, Jack Freestone, and my wife went beat each other up. You know what I mean? It was the best thing in the world. My
Yeah.
best friend, my wife, beat each other up for. We drilled, of course. Guys,
Yeah.
drill. And then that was it. That was our morning. It was awesome. It's like, so I would say, if you want to keep without having to fight every week, get yourself a
So this is something that created a bond or helped keeping the bond between you?
well, martial arts gave me my wife.
Yeah.
I met her through jiu-jitsu.
Oh, you met her at the jiu-jitsu
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
Oh, that's so epic.
Yeah, I mean, awkwardly, she was a girlfriend of a training partner. 6 years down later, saw her at the gym, was like, hey. And it started from there. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
That is so epic.
I gave her purple belt.
No way.
Yeah, that was the only, once I got my black belt, I gave 2 belts. I gave my wife her purple belt because she's been doing it for how long? And she, like that last year before I gave it to her, she put in the time. She excelled really quick. And then my friend Jack Freestone was, he fell in love with jiu-jitsu. And I was like, yeah, blue belt. So I only gave him purple belt. I don't want to give any more belts to pretty much anybody else except those 2 people. You know what I mean? So,
But it's such a huge respect to give your wife and your best friend their belts and to be able to train with them. I mean, that's so sick.
it's the ultimate marriage counseling. That's the other thing. I mean, if anybody's been married long enough, you're going to have a fight with your wife or your husband, whatever it is. I tell people this story all the time because I get, when I do privates with like stand-up Muay Thai, I get a lot of women that are like, they just want to punch things because their husband's being this or COVID this or their kids doing. And I'm like, I'll tell them the story about her, me and my wife. I don't even know what we were fighting about. Just screaming at each other in the car, just swearing. We're walking up to the boar's nest, and it was just, middle finger to each other, hating each other. We get on the mat. We rolled for an hour straight. I mean, just going hard. I think she threw a couple elbows in there, just, from the guard.
Just for shits and giggles?
Just for shits and giggles, We walked out of there holding each other, kissing. And I still, to this day, don't remember what we were fighting about. That's
great.
pretty, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't pay a therapist to sit on the couch and cry about that. I think martial arts, using the right way, is a great therapy for couples or for people that just want to get that, that little frustration out, that little something that's angering them inside. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I might be wrong, but it's definitely helped out, I think.
I think he's right because I think we don't realize how much we absorb unconsciously all the toxic energy that's happening to us, and until like all of us train, we know, our wives know that when we leave the mat, when we come back, we're better husband.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh.
But it took forever for my wife to really, like almost 2 or 3 years because, we're like obsessed, right? And now she sees a different person, right? And I think that's so powerful, what you're saying. I don't know. I don't only train jiu-jitsu. I don't know anything else. I don't even.
What's this? They
I don't
understand.
even consider jiu-jitsu martial art.
Yeah.
I think it's like surfing. It's like a lifestyle thing. It's something I cannot live without
Oh, 100%.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. Surfing is first. My first addiction. Second is that. And I don't consider myself a martial artist. I don't like fighting of
No,
any
but you're a
kind.
martial artist. You can do
No, but
Taekwondo and be a martial artist.
But I just think jiu-jitsu is something so.
Well, it's primal.
Yeah.
That's why I think kids jiu-jitsu is exploding because, I mean, what did kids do? Especially boys or whatever. They tackle each other
we'd wrestle
at
around.
6 or 7 or 8, you know. Dad, oh, get dad. They tackle. So it's a natural human instinct in us to roll around.
Yeah.
Where striking is, you know, that's why people are like, oh, teach a kids class. I'm like, how am I going to tell an 8-year-old it's okay to elbow me, elbow this hand, but don't elbow your friend over there? Where like jiu-jitsu obviously chokes and arm bars, but like you can wrestle with your buddy. You know what I mean? That's okay. Nobody's going to get any damage. An elbow to a nose, it's going to do some damage. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think jiu-jitsu is great because it also gets some of that energy out. The kids are shoved in front of a computer way too much, or in front of a TV way too much. We're not made to do that. We're made to exhaust ourselves for the day, sleep, equal fuel with good fuel, and sleep. Not sit there and, you know what I mean? We're not made for that. And I think that's causing some serious issues right now, and especially now with this year with distant learning.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, that thing's nuts.
It's horrible.
Silly,
It's
stupid
horrible.
as shit.
It's horrible.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's the worst thing in the world. Like, we don't need more screen time.
Yeah.
We don't. Like, kids, like, with the whole, like, just, I mean, an iPhone is amazing. What is that thing? You can do anything you want on that thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, we already have that. But now, your school time where you're supposed to be interacting with your friends, cutting paper, drawing, doing the test, now that's come down to, you know what I mean? It's I'm scared. Hopefully this somewhat changes so we can go back to that, because if this goes on for a longer time.
You're homeschooling.
Yeah, I'm homeschooling.
Yeah, you're homeschooling.
If this continues, I'm homeschooling.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think most
Anyways,
people will.
I'm homeschooling. Anyways, I'm there to help, to look.
Yeah, it's
But
but it's hard. I mean, because kids, I mean, especially younger kids, they need the interaction. My son doesn't want. I mean, he loves playing with me, but it's like Saturday, Sunday. Can I have a friend?
Yeah.
Can I have a friend? Can I have a
We're
friend?
social beings.
Yeah.
It's not normal for children not to be social,
No.
right? And it's going to affect them. And I don't think the effect of our children during this COVID time, we don't know what it is yet. You
Well, a
know?
lot of people don't. Like, my son was seriously depressed for August, I think it was. I think he had.
I'm fucking depressed,
Yeah.
man. I'm telling you.
But how many people actually listen to their kid? You know, stop crying.
Yeah.
Stop crying. Like, my son was like
Invalidating their
waking up
feelings.
crying,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know, like, what's going on? And it was like he couldn't, you know, because he's 8, so he's like,
He knows something is wrong.
He knows
but
they're wrong,
can't
but
But he
can't
can't express it. He doesn't
can't
have
express
the
the words. It's not like
intellectual,
he's
emotional maturity
4,
to
where he's
express
like,
it. Yeah.
you know, and he's not 13 where he can kind of express
Right.
it. He was 8, so it's like, it was worse because I was like, you know, what's wrong, dude?
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. And it was just like, he was just depressed. There was no reason why. You know, a reason why is he wanted to go to school. He wanted routine. He wanted his friends.
A normal life.
And he couldn't get it. And it's like, okay, I'm pretty into my kid. I'm trying to listen to him. A lot of parents are busy, especially now you're stressed.
Yeah.
No work.
Yep.
Trying to figure bills. You got 4 kids. I mean, I only have 1. And that's enough. Anybody else that's more kids, hats off to you. You're the strongest people in the world.
You're going to stop at 1? Kyle.
I think we're stopping at 1.
Okay.
We're gonna, you know why? We're gonna put all our eggs, all our
On
energy
there.
into the biggest, best human we can raise.
Yeah.
So, what is one thing
Amen.
that you're trying to instill in your son from an early age?
Kindness,
Kindness.
to be honest, and to listen to people.
Yeah.
Because my son's really good at like being with a 2-year-old to hang with a 10-year-old. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, he is a brat sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No kid's perfect. He's definitely a couple times. I'm like, oh. You know what I mean? But we just try to teach him love.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, I hug and tell him I love him. I can't even remember how many times a day. You know what I mean? And it's also, I've had this question with a couple people. I think it's Polynesian, maybe Hawaiian culture, where men, like, I kiss my son in the mouth. And I remember some people being weird about that came from other places. Like, oh, you can't do that. You know, it's like, you know, gay or something. Like, my dad did it to me until the day he died. You know what I mean? That was just like, and I don't know, I never looked into it. I always kind of thought it was a Polynesian thing, right? You know what I mean? The nose to nose, it's the same thing. It's like, it's my father. It's nothing, that was his way. So
I think that the people that get weirded out by that, they're the weird ones.
Yeah, it's
they're
like,
why would you even think about that
yeah,
way?
it's not like we're making out, dude. I just peck my son. I love you, give him a hug, kiss on the mouth. Okay, have fun at school or whatever. And it's like, I just show him that love and security, so he's a more confident person. I think when kids are scared, not confident about it, then they lash out.
It's the insecurity in all of us,
all
whether
of
it's
us.
children or adults, that create this toxicity in the world, right? And because really, when you meet somebody who is like everyone we love, who's, you know, secure and at peace, whether they're black belt, martial art, they have nothing to prove, so they see the world as accepting everything is, and they don't want to change. There's nothing to prove, but this insecurity, you're right on course, man.
Insecurity is the main thing. I mean, okay. usually, and we were all young single men at some time, usually the hottest chick at the bar, at the
Has
thing,
the lowest,
is the most
self-esteem.
insecure.
Yeah.
And you'd be like,
Yeah.
but you're the hottest thing here, like compared to the one that's,
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
That chick's more confident in herself. She has some insecurity, but you can have anything in the world. And
Right.
you're like, don't look at me. How's my butt look? It's like, it's so, or like, what are you doing? Where are you calling? You know what I mean? I think insecurity is a huge thing that nobody talks about, where it's like confidence. Because when you're confident, you're not going to lash out at anybody.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to do that.
But to get to confident level, there's a tremendous amount of work we're gonna put through physically. Mm-hmm. So you got like the grind you're talking about, right? When I listen, when you look at your life, you drive here, and it's that without the hard work, you never truly feel secure, because it takes a lot of work to work on the self, so you feel okay with the self. So when you don't put no physical work or physical challenge into the self, it's an illusion of security.
Yeah.
'Cause
Confidence is,
yeah, but you have to do the work. I think most people don't realize that's what you got to do. So fame comes from money and singing and all that.
Well, no.
You didn't do the work.
I mean, go back to Jiu-Jitsu. How
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu does teach you life. I remember having a guy, and he was complaining about he didn't get his blue belt. I'm beating guys up, and and I haven't gotten it yet. And I think I just got my black belt, and I had a pretty rocky road to my black belt. And I was like, "Hey, are you mopping the floor with the purple belts and the blue belts?" He's like, "Well, not the purple belts, the blue belts." I'm like, "All right, keep what you're doing. Shut up. Don't ever say anything." That's like rule number one. But I was like, they can't deny you. And that's why I love no-gi more nowadays, is because there's not that belt system thing. You know what I mean? Like, because the proof's in the pudding. I can roll with that 80cc guy, and if I can hang with him and beat him up, then my jiu-jitsu is proven right there on the mat. Not talk, not Instagram posts, not this. And that's why I always put myself in those worst situations of like, all right, I want to train with Tyson Nam. Okay, I'm getting lit up. Or like roll with Max Holloway. Like, I'm getting lit up. Or, I got him. You know what I mean? I roll with AJ Azram. I'm hanging with him. All of a sudden, my confidence goes up. Okay, now I don't have to be scared. My confidence up. So I think people need to, and that's fear also, is just put yourself out there. And jiu-jitsu will be a thing because you're not getting knocked out. You might have a sore ankle, as long as you don't roll with those guys that just rip your ankles off.
Johnny.
But you know what I mean? Like, do the work. A lot of people don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
They want the instant Instagram like. They want the instant fame. They want and it's like, the work is hard.
Yeah.
And I try to sell myself out every time. Like last night, I got home. I was like, I just want to sit on the couch and drink a beer. But it's a small glove night at Elite. But when I got home after class, like right now, I'm like,
Feeling good.
I did my work. I did my work for the week. I proved myself to myself. Nobody else. I don't care about anybody else. But I did myself because I didn't get beat up that bad. I didn't come home with a broken tooth or anything like that. Like, I think people need to put more work in. Everyone wants it too free nowadays. It's plain and simple.
It's so funny that you said that, Kyle. So one of the guys invited me to on internet. There's a 50+ jiu-jitsu thing. It's a club thing. So I get invited on there, and Ken, whom I love dearly, and so I joined because I got invited in. And here we are. All the posts, and these are men over 50 and women, right? And yet, there's this feeling for some of these men, like, I've been doing this for this long, how come I didn't get promoted? And I'm like, I keep getting submitted and all that, but they don't realize Jiu-Jitsu is all about your personal growth, right? It's really about you, your own journey, looking inward all the time. It's not about the outward thing. So when you get caught up on when am I going to get your belt, when am I going to get promoted, you're missing the whole lesson of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Because in Brazil, when I went to Brazil, there was no stripe. I was getting smoked by white belt. Aubrey and I was blue belt. We're getting smoked and we're laughing. We go, and over there.
Like, you ever been to AOJ?
Yeah.
That's just like a massacre. That's like a blue belt that's been trained 12 years.
Wow, there's a blue belt kid that came to Kikoa and smoked all the black belts in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. He's a local kid. They move him in the mainland. But the point is, our country, our society is so caught up in the dangling carrots. It's not about personal growth or personal accountability anymore. We're looking for outside validation.
Yeah.
I think social media made it even worse.
Oh, social media is like it can be such a beautiful thing, but it's gotten so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Out of
hand.
It's I almost like throw my phone down sometimes. I'm like, because it just gets in your brain. But I was gonna say something. Shoot, I totally forgot about the hard work. Is like, okay, here's a great story. Okay, so I've been surfing since I was 10.
Yeah.
Very passionate about it. Been a long time. So back to my friend Jack, who's probably one of the best in the world, Jack Freestone. He moved over here, and we've been surfing a lot together. Usually I see him for a couple weeks, and we surf. But then he's
How
gone.
old is Jack now?
I want to say he's 28.
No.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's
Of course.
You wait till you roll with him.
Oh, really? Jack trains?
He's my blue belt. That's
Jack
yeah,
trains?
he's gnarly.
Jack Freestone trains.
Gnarly, and he knows footlocks now, thanks to you.
You can teach him foot lock and
I
blue
have to,
belt.
I
Bro,
have
what's
to.
going on with these guys?
It's okay, right?
What the hell?
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. I'm blue
all good.
belt.
No, he's a freak. He's an athlete.
Nogi, yeah, okay. Jack's
Just
is
you to
amazing.
know, next year IBJJF he'll hook a legal.
Yeah, finally. Yeah.
You gotta learn.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
learn.
yeah. It is what
I
it is.
chased that like I thought it was until
Listen.
my black belt. Until you two.
No.
You created me.
I follow Larry and Leaf because I want to learn what Larry has.
No, but you brought
offer.
Craig Jones
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's what created me
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I never did any. I thought, I remember rolling guys like, we don't do leg locks, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I went to Craig Jones thing. And it was just like,
Yeah, you blame. Yeah.
blow it up. Okay, so but here's talking about taking criticism and doing the work.
Yeah.
So I've been surfing with Jack for a while, and I'm always like, hey, I want to learn how to do better airs or whatever, And we surfed, and he's at my house. He's like, your stance is way too narrow. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? This is not like you did the bomb turn right. This is fundamental. Your stance is way too narrow.
And you're surfing since you're 10.
Yeah, most people with any
thought you
and
had
when you with the
beautiful
one,
style, Kyle.
I appreciate it, but
Yeah.
no, I like this one. Anybody with a 1% ego is gonna go,
What the fuck you talking
Yeah.
about?
fuck you,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't care. But I went, there was 5 seconds where I was like, my wife's right there, and she starts laughing, and I was like, really? He's like, yeah, your stance is too off. I went possessive. This was only like a month ago, maybe not even that. He told me this, and I was like, I live across from Monster Mush, so Monster Mush is backwashy, crappy kind of wave, but super fun sometimes. I was going out there any chance I got. I would take off on every wave. Move my back foot against the kick pad. Move my foot against the kick pad. Falling. Go out, catch a wave at Rockies where like everybody's watching. Freaking look all weird because
You're not used
after
to the
what
stance.
20-something
Yeah.
years, I've
Yeah.
changed out my stance.
Yeah.
But I got possessive about it, and just not yesterday, the day before. I was surfing Rockies with a friend of mine. I went and my kid was at his house. I went to pick him up, and he's like, "Dude, your stance, you hit that da da da." He's like, "Your stance is definitely looking wider. It's looking good." So it's like, instead of me closing the door and being like,
Yeah.
"F you," I'm not going to change something I've done for 20-something plus
Right,
years that I was
right.
so obsessive about.
Yeah.
I went, okay, take that little ego and throw it over there. Okay, what do I do? He's like, okay, let's do this and that. And like I was lucky. I would say I was lucky because I had him and I had Chris Gallagher. Chris Gallagher,
Yeah.
great coach to Jordy
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah.
Genius when it comes to the mental game of surfing.
Yep.
He's my neighbor. His kid, my kid play, and I started telling him about it. And he's like, go catch a wave. Okay, yeah, you gotta do this, that. And then he saw it, and then after like a week, he's like, go catch a wave. And I did a turn. He's like, way better. Okay, you know what I mean? So I'd like, instead of, and I think a lot of people do that. They don't want to
Yeah.
get told what they're doing wrong,
Yeah.
especially as you get older. I'm
Yeah.
almost, I'm 37. I
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
like, no, I ain't doing that. It's like, no, I want to get better. Why do you have to get past 30 and be like content with just being on the couch or whatever
Yeah.
at that?
But I think that comes from the martial art that we're always willing to learn.
Always wanted to learn.
Because everybody has a trick. Even a white belt that comes in, he has a trick, he has a detail. You don't mind, you're willing to learn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that goes back to like, you never know. Like I roll with Yancey. Yancey, like, he's a savage. He's a white belt, right? Is he a blue belt? What is Yancey nowadays?
No, he's a white.
He's a white belt.
Yeah,
Yancey's
right.
a savage. You know what I mean? That's why you can't go out the like,
color of the belt.
I remember being at the rookie headquarters, and I rolled with AJ Azram, who's ADCC, I think
Yeah,
silver medalist.
Yeah.
Had a great roll with him, back and
Really?
forth battle. Wow. And then I rolled with Yancey right after. Yancey like passes my guard, takes my back, chokes me out. And I was just like getting choked out and looking at Pat. And I was just like, what the, you know what I mean? So you never know. You're going to be the nail some days. You're going to be the hammer some days.
Yeah.
You might be this all-star one day. Who cares?
You hung with AJ.
Yeah, dude, that was the best highlight of my freaking
Wow.
thing. Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
submitted me. Don't get me wrong, but I hung.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
rolled for
yeah.
like an hour.
Oh,
It was a
really?
fun roll.
Right,
it was
right,
a really
right.
fun roll. It was
Yeah,
like back
yeah.
and forth.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, it was just fun because I went from that, who's a black belt, supposedly. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
he is a black belt.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I went with Yancey, who's
Yeah.
supposedly a white belt, but savage, absolute savage. And it was like, there's your,
Yeah.
right there. Look at those things right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do I really care? No, it's fine.
What lesson from your father you continue on to teach Bear? I think you mentioned it. Because why you got here today was gotta be from your
My dad
parents.
always told me he loved me.
Yeah.
He was always this most happiest guy to a fault. Like
Right.
he was almost like too nice. You know what I mean? So I try to take that niceness, but I'm not gonna be a pushover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to take the love that him and my mom gave to me and my sister,
Yeah.
where it was like, you know, just constant love and affection, and bring that to Bear to where like he's a confident kid because he's loved on all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he's gonna be kind to other people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah. But he's also his own character. I mean, that kid's like, you put him in front of a camera and he's just like, he's ready to go. So I don't even know. He's his own.
Maybe the confidence is in the family, because I heard while doing the research about Kyle Foyle, I did as usual what we do. We do videos, and suddenly comes a video of Kyle Foyle living 808.
Oh God, yes.
And manscaping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Manscaping. Yeah.
You need to have. You need to be.
I love my wife very much. So that's what that is.
Yeah.
No, that was a good story. That my wife works for PR. One of her clients was European Wax Center, and so one of those things when we were talking before, you know, like your wife tells you something, they're like, oh, next, you know, it's June, August 4th. I need you to do something. You're like washing dishes or like at 8 o'clock.
course,
You're
honey.
on the couch.
Yeah,
You're like,
no problem.
yeah. It's fine. Okay, cool. Gets a little closer. Oh, I need you to do this. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go train. See you later. You know, bye. Whatever. And it was like the night before. She's like, oh, here's your script. And I was like, wait, what? She's like, here's your script. I'm like, so is this like on the Olelo, you know, like a public access? She's like, no, this is on Living 808. I think it's on KHON.
Yeah.
Like, it's like their morning show. They do it
Yeah.
at 8 a.m. Everybody
Yeah.
watches it. I'm like, wait, so what do you want me to do? She's like, so basically, we're going to take you to the European Wax Center. I've already given them all the B-roll. Like, you do fighting, surfing, lifeguard. We're going to wax your chest. I'm like, okay. And she's like, and then you're going to go on camera with so-and-so. I forget her name. I'm Living 808. And you're going to basically sell how manscaping is the new thing. And I'm sorry, this is a couple years, so I could rat out it was all fake. But, I mean, so I get waxed. God bless women. They do that to themselves. I would never do that ever. That was the most painful thing in the world. And so I do it, and I walk out, and they put me in the tank top, and it's this, microphone right there. So, why do you manscape? And I fully had to, on the top of my head, sell it. And I remember, the camera's here, the lady's here, and then my wife and her boss are over there, and they're cracking up, laughing. And then halfway through, there's a face of amazement, of holy shit, Kyle's really selling this thing.
Yeah,
if you go back and watch it,
You went into it.
I sold it.
Yeah.
And I have never waxed in my life. I sold it like it's the best thing in the world. I just, Jiu-Jitsu, we got our hair pulled, and I forgot what I said, but it was
You said it helps you.
you remember that movie Old School?
Yes.
With Will Ferrell?
Yep.
Remember the debate part where all of a sudden he debates and he's with the head guy.
Yeah.
It's like a test at the end, and he's he's an idiot.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden he blacks out and he starts talking well, I think the stock's from da 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 da, and he kills it, and then all of a sudden he's like, wait, what happened? You know what I mean? It was one of those moments where I just clicked on, sold something I have never done in my life, I don't believe in, and came to.
What's your wife's first name?
Tiffany.
Tiff. That's how much he loves you.
Yeah,
That's all it is. This is a confession about a husband loving his wife.
And I
That's
know
it.
Tiffany, and immediately when I saw the video, I'm guarantee she made him do that.
Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't be
who's
thing. He wouldn't be looking for
Mr. Pipeline.
Yeah, no, it was funny because I watched the video and it's they'll show me and they'll show me fighting or on the ATV. I'm they did it really well. And I remember going to Foodland in Pupukea and I'm friends with the
Everyone,
cashiers.
yeah.
And the one auntie was like, "Oh, Kyle, seen you on Living 808." wow, I didn't know. Oh, wow. I was just like, can I sell my groceries, please?
Hey, just for shit and giggle, heaviest wave you surfed, you go, fuck, I don't know if I'm gonna make it today. Like, heaviest wave.
Like rescue or surfing?
Surfing. Chopu, where?
Oh, Tahiti's a whole different level. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
that-
much of a big wave guy. Billy is like, that's like a whole
Yeah,
different.
Billy's a freak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Billy-
I don't know.
yeah.
Like, I remember surfing. I think I got to like a 20-foot wave of one time. That was it. I was like, 18, and I was like, okay, I'm done. It's like,
Wait,
yeah. I mean, there's been a couple with,
20
because I was
feet?
like, young and just want to prove yourself. It's
Yeah,
proving
yeah.
ground, right? And it's like, I'm not a big wave surfer. I don't like
yeah.
it. Like, I like Big Sunset because I surf there a lot, so I'm comfortable.
Backside?
Backside.
How
yeah.
big's your board you riding? At Sunset now?
8.0 now, probably on the biggest.
Yeah.
It depends on the
Yeah,
size
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But when I first moved to shore, my best friend at the time, he only surfed Sunset. And he was regular.
Right.
So I was like, all right, let's go to Sunset. And I went from being in the channel just petrified on like a 4-foot day to
You never
like,
got caught on West Peak where you just like,
oh, I've got
white
demolished
knuckles?
out there. I've gotten like fell and then pulled like popped up in front of valves almost, like got pushed in that much. I've been out there when it's closing out, like. Because you're young, and it's like, well, you're going to do it. I lived
still
across
have
the street.
PTSD from Sunset.
Yeah. I mean, pipeline scares the crap out of you,
Oh,
but,
yeah,
but I
forget
think it
that.
scares everybody.
Yeah,
But that's your post, no? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But rescue and surfing is different.
Yeah.
Like, I'll body surf and do rescues at pipe when it's big, no problem. It still scares crap out of me, don't get me wrong. But, like, surfing is like, maybe because I've seen so many, injuries and stuff like that maybe it's something in the back of my mind. It's like causing that fear. Because I used to surf pipe, didn't really have a fear of it. But now I think how many head injuries and it's crazy. Like I held Dusty's head when he was going
Oh
through
my
his
God, I
hit.
was going to ask you. You were there when Dusty.
It was me and Guillermo Tamega, famous boogie board guy. We were the two guys working at pipe when that happened.
Oh,
so we were the first ones,
my
besides the guys in the water, we were the first lifeguards to get there. Oh, that was heavy. Because I kind of knew Dusty a little bit. I mean, we weren't friends, but like...
I got chicken skin.
Yeah,
that you
but
let
like to
out.
see, I thought he was gonna die because I didn't know he had seizures like normally. But
Yeah.
it was like just so much blood, just his teeth missing, cracked skulls, and just
What?
people freaking out. Yeah, it was the craziest thing. Like that was the only rescue I've had where like I walked down the beach and I was kind of a little bit
Shaken.
yeah.
So probably the worst rescue ever in your career.
No, I've had gnarly. I've had people, die on me. I've had all, from the years over. I've had all, for some reason, I don't know why that one affected me so much in a
Yeah.
sense. Like, because I remember, like, we put him in the ambulance. I walked down the pipe right away, and I was covered because I had, we went from the tower fully, my long sleeve shirt on. It was covered in blood. I mean, in my mouth, my eyes, my hair, everywhere. I mean, obviously, I wasn't worried. I know Dusty doesn't have some blood poured passage in.
Yeah.
But I just remember walking down the beach, and the beach kind of like everybody was walking around normally.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened. Where before it was just fucking chaos and and yelling at Tan Van Dyke to get his stuff and okay, Dusty, we can do it. And he was just combative, it was like I thought he was dying.
You
And then-
didn't think he was going to make it, yeah? That's
well,
what I heard.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna make it,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean, they told me, like, literally, I heard, like, his scalp, was it true? It was, like, literally came off his skull.
well, he had I think from what I can tell, the way he fell, his head went into the hole.
Right.
I think, and he kind of did like a ping pong. So he had here, back of the head, broken jaw. He was missing, I think, a couple teeth over here. And it was just, he was just a bloody mess. And he was being combative, so blood's spraying everywhere. And it's like, we're trying to strap you down. And I didn't know him that well. So I was trying to get like Hank Gaskell was there, like, hey, try to talk to him. Because sometimes getting somebody that's familiar, when they're in that zone, they hear that voice.
Yeah.
I was trying to get anybody to like just, okay, calm him down because we got to like strap him down. We got to do it. So, yeah. I don't know. So I think something like that has gotten me to the point where like when I surf now, I'm like,
Where's your go-to spot now? When country's on, beginning now, all the way to whatever.
depends on the size. I mean, I
Let's say
love,
6 feet and under.
I've been really I've always been off the wall. I have no idea. Backside too. I have no idea what. But like Rockies, Lugs, Sunset, I kind of stay in my little zone.
Yeah.
You know,
Sunset all the way down
Sunset to
off the wall.
Logs is like my zone.
That's
I
your
kind of just
zone,
stand there. Yeah. So around there. Yeah. I mean, I've been surfing Rockies a lot lately. That's been kind of fun. It's been
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
Been so good, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can no longer go with Rocky was my favorite. I had a little picture on the Polaroid. My first pair on the North Shore was that Rocky. And my Chuck Andrews, little HIC, like not even 2 feet. I'm dunking it. I have it. One day I'll bring it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You
One
don't
of
need
the
much.
most- one of the most perfect wave, perfect left.
So let me ask you a quick question. We have to wrap it up, but there's so many things I still want to talk to you about.
That went quite quick.
Yeah, I know.
It's been already 90 minutes.
Wow.
I actually wanted to talk to you about Thailand because
Yes.
at one point you were Jiu-Jitsu, but then you integrated Muay Thai,
Yes.
and then you challenged yourself and went to Thailand?
4 times. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it was I had a coach, a friend, teammate that he did that, went down there and fought and stuff like that. And so it was like, I didn't think it was possible. Once again, I was just like, don't do it. And he was like, no, you can do it. Totally do it. Because I was really getting into Muay Thai. Hawaii at that time was kind of, it wasn't there. Striking wasn't kind of there. Maybe there was, but it was like, you got to know the guy and he does it in his garage. And so, but luckily I had a coworker that went down there just for vacation. And he was like, hey, come with me. I'll show you the ins and outs, at least like, what taxi to get to, what hotel, where to get your moped. The basics of when you just show up, you can easily get ripped off or whatever. And he took me down there, and I luckily stumbled into probably the best gym at that time was Golden Glory. If you don't know Golden Glory, that was Alistair Overeem, Shimmy Schultz. Yeah. And this was 2009 or 10, right when K1 was doing that big resurgence. So the Dutch and Muay Thai kickboxing was exploding. Yeah. So I remember going to Golden Glory, and it was like Alistair Overeem, Shimmy Schultz, like Gokhan Saki. I mean, these names don't sound, but if you Google like any Dutch kickboxers, they're like the top of the food chain. And then, of course, you had the Thai fighters, where like my one coach is, his name's this guy, 400 fights. Oh, that guy's, that's fit. Okay, he's 300 fights. Big old belly on them. They've been drinking whiskey, but they're still just insane. It was just the best experience. In Thailand, if you haven't gone there, is like, mostly it's all Buddhist, so it's a very friendly country. They're not trying to rip you off. There's no but it is a third world country. The food's insane. People are super friendly. Like, it's relatively pretty safe too. You know what I mean? It's like I said, I think it's Muslim and Buddhist, but they kind of believe in karma, so they're not gonna. But it was the most amazing experience just to like train and just be around the best people in the world. And
I've been in Thailand 3 times, but only to party. But only to party. I never had that.
If that's your jam, that's the best place too. I mean, it's insane. But just to live the fighter lifestyle, because it was like I went down there twice before I had a kid. The last 2 times I had a kid, which like the last time I went, I was like, all right, I think this
was the last one.
Chapter of my life is done, because like I can't be leaving my son. I'm not I was 30 something. I was like, okay. I just wanted to, get that last little thing out. But yeah, it's a beautiful country, but I think it kind of shows you, because they were kind of like, why are you down here? I'm like, because I want to learn how to fight. And they're like, but you're American, like, what I mean? You got money. And it's like, so it's even that conversation to like going to the massage parlor and like talking to these old aunties, and they're like thinking every American's rich. And we're like, no, we save for this. So like, just even having those simple conversations with somebody from a different part of the world changes so much.
But the rest of the world do think that, because of television and social media, they think we're like everyone has fancy house and cars, and But for them, it's like you're lucky you can own a car in your lifetime. Well,
it's a very much haves and the have-nots. The have-nots, like they'll get their money on Friday, and they'll go gamble, and they'll drink, and they'll party, and they'll work Monday through Friday to do it again. So it's kind of in the moment. So like we were trying to explain savings, and it was like, how is that?
They live in the now for sure.
They live in the now, but. Definitely, I love that place. Like I thought Tahiti was my favorite place outside Hawaii, but Thailand is definitely It's
the food is better.
Like I love Elephant Truck and all the Thai food places around here, but I'm like,
no,
$12 for that.
Wait.
I could pay 50 cents, for the best street food in the world.
Oh yeah,
best Thai food in Oahu. I want to know where do you go for best Thai food?
Opal, hands down. Opal.
Is he still around?
He used to be in Halaiva. Now he has a store in downtown on Smith.
Ah, okay.
So he moved
from Halaiva,
right next to L&L. Right, American Saving Banks, right there in Long's parking lot.
Long's parking lot.
Now he's in Chinatown.
The best.
Where?
The best.
Where in Chinatown?
Smith
Street. Still called Opal.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
Food.
Elephant Truck.
Aye.
And that's right. He has, I think, 3 places, right? No, I think one Pearl City, one Light and there's a truck literally next to me, which makes it really hard at night when you smell garlic.
Wait, next to the Chevron station?
Next to the Chevron. I think it's actually, he
to
moved
the right
it.
of Chevron station, yeah?
So you're looking at Bonsai Bowls?
Yeah,
Chevron?
to the left.
to the left in the back part.
Yes.
Is a truck.
Okay,
and it comes
okay.
to my
They
house.
used to be in Shark's Cove.
Yeah, but that kind of got weird over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Or something happened. But yeah, there.
Okay.
I say that's my
Elephant.
favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin's the owner. He's super cool. He cooks a lot of food too. But he has a lot of like. If you go there during the lunch, there's a sign that says workers don't speak English, so please order through the app. And it's like, if you order the lunch is a little bit better than the dinner, I think, because it's like straight.
What do you
eyes.
What do you order on the menu? What's your favorite?
Pad Kimao, Pad Siu.
Pad Siu,
pretty good.
okay.
Kapow,
You're not a curry guy? Not
too
really.
much.
Okay,
Yeah.
got
Once in
it.
a while, I'm not even a big meat eater, but once
Yeah.
in a while I get the kapow because that ground up chicken with
Yeah.
the fried egg, the Thai fried egg. Oh man, that's my treat. Meat is a treat, so I treat it like
Wow,
that.
you really vegetarian?
Yeah.
Not vegan, but vegetarian.
We tried vegan. That was kind of
No, too much. Yeah.
Well, we were even like strict vegetarians, but I kind of felt like the weird person at the barbecue. Or like Thanksgiving, like it became like a weird social thing. We're like,
Yeah.
I can't eat that. So we're like, we treat it. Meat is a treat.
Yeah.
So if we have a nice dinner at Lele's,
Yeah.
maybe my wife will split a steak or
Yeah.
like a seafood scampi.
Well, that's
But
awesome.
there's no
Yeah.
meat like
On
at
a
my
regular
house.
basis.
We don't cook any meat at my house.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just because I feel better.
Yeah.
Like before we would eat steak and it was like, oh, it's just I go off how I feel.
Yeah.
And like Jack's like a full vegan. I can't go that level. Like
Wow.
that's just a whole different level. So I kind of go with vegetarian. Where like no dairy even that at that point.
Yeah.
Cheese is the only one. I mean, you can't have Mexican food without a little bit of
No.
cheese. You know what I mean? So it's like we just treat it as I work my ass off every day. Eat oatmeal, beet juice, salads. I treat myself great. So if
Yeah.
I go out,
Yeah.
why can't I treat it like
Right.
a treat?
Like a
you know what
treat.
I mean?
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
the way
brilliant.
I do it.
Really? You do too?
Yeah.
You don't eat meat on a regular basis either? Fish here and there, but most of the time. So the whole family.
No, my kids eat. My wife cooks twice. Once
Okay.
for the kids with chicken
Yeah.
or meat, whatever.
Yeah, kids are hard, man. Like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
son found out about hot dogs. It was game over.
Game over.
It's game over.
Game
It's
over.
hot
What
dogs.
kid doesn't have hot dogs
like
and
now it's
spaghetti?
even like Weenie Wednesday. It's Wednesday. We're having hot dogs. Like so that's definitely brought a little more meat back into our
Yeah,
house. But as far as me and my wife eating meat,
Yeah.
none in our house. Yeah,
Huh.
so it's just because I feel better. It's purely. I mean, some people love the keto diet. They feel good on it. Whatever your jam is, it's fine. I just think I feel better. It's better for the environment.
Yeah.
And especially the way the technology is nowadays. Like, you ever had a Beyond Burger or an
Yeah.
Impossible? Dude, you can't tell the difference.
You
man.
cannot.
You can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat it every day.
It actually tastes so much like meat that I can't eat it. I don't do the.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's too close. I can't do it.
Really?
It's literally meaty.
It's it's
amazing.
crazy. Yeah,
I
but
love
that's the
meat.
end. Like you can't eat
meal
that
I
every
meet-
day.
Every meal I meet, I have some kind of a meat. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean,
yeah.
it's just
That's why
the
the body
American
look
diet.
the way it does.
No, you look good. But is it like a big steak and then like a little tiny vegetables?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Hey, honesty is the best policy.
I love cows. I
Yeah.
love piggies. I love
Yeah.
them all. Man.
Oh,
That's the
no.
problem.
No,
I think
yeah.
culturally I grew up. Yeah.
No, I mean, and like I said, I hate the people like, especially like even vegans are like, you gotta do this. It's like,
Yeah.
do
No.
whatever your jam is,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
But you gotta pay the consequence with
Yeah.
it. You know, I mean, like that's why this whole like, it's a hot topic is like the COVID thing.
Yeah.
I would drive to wherever I was going, like a gym or like I'm supposed to be closed, but I'd be going somewhere to go do something better for me.
Right.
And I'd drive by McDonald's and I'd see people in line,
Yeah.
in cars with the mask on by themselves in line with McDonald's. I'm like,
I think that's the problem right now. It's like one thing we're not doing good as a nation is like educate our citizen to be more healthy rather than
they don't want to hear that.
yeah, it's like
'Cause that's
all
work.
fear driven.
It goes
it's
back to it.
work.
I got trolled on on Lieutenant Josh Green's thing. I was
Yeah.
like fed up because everything was like social distance, mask. And I was
Yeah.
like, can you at least tell people to eat an orange?
Yeah.
Put your cell phones down
Go
at
for
8
a
p.m.
walk,
Get
go
some
for
more
a
sleep.
swim.
Get some more sleep.
Yeah.
And I remember I just said, hey, can we add to this? Can we add like
Yeah.
more sleep? Take a freaking vitamin C tablet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got in a full fight with this guy to where like I was like, dude. You know
go
what?
in
You
the ring.
win. I remember his name was David. I was like, you know what? You win, David.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
better than me because
Yeah.
he's like, you're spreading hate. I'm like, I asked for an orange. How
Yeah.
is that spreading hate, dude? But nobody wants to do the work. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to eat the beet juice.
Yep.
Or sleep more, or take a walk. They
Or to
want
exercise
a
more.
pill.
Yeah.
They want the
Yeah.
fast thing, and it goes back to what we talked earlier.
Yep.
Do the work.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do the work, then don't cry with the things
Yeah.
what you get. Because hardest working guys reap the benefits. I mean, look at Billy. That guy works his ass off. Who comes back from breaking their hip like that?
I couldn't believe he's
7 months?
walking. Like, he
Yeah.
was
Unreal.
90-something% healed. Like, imagine your hip.
Yeah.
I just,
broke.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
like I
get it.
FaceTime when he was in Morocco and he was all looking like he was on death's door. And I looked at my phone. That was only what, February?
Yeah, he
April,
told me like
May, something like that.
Yeah.
It's still October, and he's just
Insane.
going about his day like working out crazy.
But again, that mental thing. Again, we need to come back and talk about the mental thing because I think that's so powerful, right? Because everything starts from here.
What everybody wants to see is the montage of the '80s movie.
Yeah.
You know, Rocky.
Yeah,
Freaking pulling the horse, doing the push-up, the run. Everybody always sees that. We've been engraved
Yeah.
in our mind from the '80s of like, that's how you get better. Not actually,
Yeah.
you know, doing the mental part of it. The mental part's huge. To be able to like, you can do all the push-ups in the world, but if you go out there and go, you freeze.
Right.
You know?
But that's what Billy does. I'm like, how did he get himself? But he said something so powerful the other day. It was like, when it gets a certain feat, it's like, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, it just, whatever. It goes, you push yourself a certain point, you get to the state of flow, he says. And I go, wow, that's like, fuck.
Because he did the work. He's confident.
Yeah,
I mean, he has
yeah.
a little crazy taking him, but it's
No,
that
but
confidence.
yeah, it's that confident of the work he built himself up. So he go, when you get the state of flow, that you just connect. Because I was telling him, I goes, dude, you know what? Like, who's the first guy that got Barra jaw? I think it was Shane Dorian.
Shane Palin was Shane. Yeah, Shane totally pulled it off.
And the way that he reads the wave, and that's what I think Billy has this, just like Kelly. I think Kelly can read the way better than anybody else. That's why he just ripped.
Billy wants it. You know, like, if I ever fight again, I want him in my corner just for the mental part. Like,
Yeah.
before I ever, like, just, okay, tell me how to, like, do this. Because, you know, that, it's just like being lifeguard. Like, you know, people go, wait, you feel comfortable in Keiki Shorebreak or Waimea? Like, I'm super comfortable in Waimea. I've done enough rescues out there where, like, I can be out there as 20 feet. I'm definitely not stoked on life, but I'm not going, you know, ripping my head. It's like, I'm in a flow state. We're like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
We got to do the hard work, okay? You know, strap you in. I know where to start swimming. Know the signal of my partner. Like, I think that's the flow state when you get to such a comfortability that, like, Billy did all the hard work. He wants it.
Yeah.
He's there. You get in that Zen mode. Just like I'm pretty sure if you ask one of the top fighter guys, they're still scared, but once they get in that flow, they're going. You know, like Donald Cerrone said, he's like back puking and super nervous. And then that first round, he kind of warms up. Second, third, he's flowing. You know what I mean? It's like you just get in that zone. It's crazy. And that's the mental part that I'm always fascinated about.
Yeah, that's why I wish next time Billy comes back, he wants to come back. You got to come back and talk about the.
Yeah, I'd love to
a lot
have
about
that.
his mental state, but I think there's no easy solution, but it'd be nice to understand for somebody of that caliber how to get them mind in that calmness, peaceful state to deal with just chaos to the 10th degree. Like Yancy, he's like the most sweetheart, but yet
Positive guy too.
Oh, and McCrae, when he
I
gets
love
on
hanging
the-
out with that guy.
Yeah.
He's just, I think
Funny
me
as
and him
shit.
jive just
Yeah,
like,
funny as shit.
it's good, man.
Yeah,
you know
funny
what I
as
mean?
shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, yeah, I need more people like that in the world for sure.
Yeah, we need more of you in the world. All right.
Yes.
And with that optimistic saying, are we going to get to our 5 what would you rather questions?
Oh man.
Yes, what am I saying?
All right.
All right.
Are you ready?
Lay it on me.
What would you rather? Get every day to work on rollerblades or on a unicycle? You're in the North Shore. Imagine
He's a
that.
lifeguard. This is awesome.
On your rollerblades.
You know what? I grew up in the era of rollerblades was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for rollerblades. dude.
Ah, you are very
Do you
secure
remember like was that
lifeguard.
90s?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. I was a roller player.
Mad respect. He
I would
admitted
bet up to
on
it just-
public
I
he's a
just-
rollerblader
rolling
guy.
the whole time.
Wow.
Do a
with the
little
swinging
slide right
arm.
at the end.
Wow.
Just 'cause I know everybody's like,
Kyle,
I'm not
dude,
gonna tease that guy.
Yeah, you are so, yeah.
All right. I have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
What would you rather? Be remembered as the greatest lifeguard of all times or the greatest fighter of all times?
Ooh.
That's a good
Ooh, that's a good one.
Damn. Damn, Johnny.
Oh, that's a really good one. Are we talking reality or is this fantasy here?
Whatever
Like,
you want
no,
to
I mean, like, actually-
any way you want to answer it. Or you can come back again.
Oh, man, that's a good one. I mean, ego-wise, fighter, of course. I mean, lifeguard, like, yeah. Lifeguard would be cool, too.
Lifeguard of the
God,
year. Yeah.
That's a
Lifetime
hard one,
achievement.
man.
Yeah.
Just because I know I won't be the best fighter in the world, I'm going with that one. I can strive to be the best lifeguard in the world.
All
so
right.
I can strive for that one.
All
so
right.
I'd rather be the fighter because I know after savages I train with, I am definitely not that guy. So for sure.
All right. Third question. What would you rather? Hold your breath for 30 minutes or hold your orgasm for 30 minutes?
Ooh.
Come on, now we're all males here, dude. I'm going with the orgasm 100%, dude.
That is so good.
Come on, man.
All right.
That's so good. I was gonna go in. We can do 30 minutes in the water because maybe I can go some bigger waves, some bigger spot.
Yeah, but like if you go back to the core of what we are as human beings, dude.
Yeah, like, we've been married 31 years. So
Yeah, dude.
F that.
All right. I hope you're ready for this. What would you rather? Have all your rescue floaties look like a can of Spam, or have all your floaties look like a rubber ducky?
Can of Spam, for
Can
sure.
of Spam.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
is that like a law in Hawaii? Like it's a Spam.
Yeah,
so you have to go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spam, yes.
Right on.
100%.
And our last question, it's a tough one. What would you rather? Change all red lifeguard board shorts to cheetah print or to red Speedos?
100% cheetah print.
Cheetah print all day!
Yeah. That's for my wife, dude. I'd be psyched. Because look at Craig Jones. He wears all cheetah print. Nobody's saying nothing about that one. Yeah. I think cheetah print.
If you want to walk again, you're going to shut up.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
All right, and on that positive note, we actually have a gift. We have a gift for Kyle. We actually have an award for you. We extremely appreciate everything you do. This is for you.
Oh, man. Being here is a gift enough.
Stop.
What is it? Oh, my God. I think I know what this is.
He's going to give it to Bear. Bear's going to use this to work in the car.
That's the Aloha Spirit, the Hour of Aloha
Thank you,
Hammer
guys.
Award.
Thank you. You should have like a little nail. That would be me right about there. That's perfect. Thank you guys so much. This has been the funnest time ever.
If Rick is listening, he's got the hammer, Rick. You're the nail.
I'm coming for you, Ricky.
tomorrow.
Hey, some days you are the hammer, some days you are the nail. That's the beauty of life right there. Because otherwise it'd just be boring. But thank you guys.
Kyle,
this is
you're like a beautiful human being, man.
appreciate that, man. Thank
I'm
you.
more proud of you being the type of father you are to your family. It's incredible.
I'm trying,
Yeah,
man. I'm trying. I'm just
I'm a
trying every
fan
day.
before, but like I always tell Kyle, that guy don't trust me. He's the sweetest heart, but he's a killer.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's
A
just
killer and a sweetheart.
just,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
It's a beautiful
why
thing.
can't you be both? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm trying to be a killer, but I'm trying to be the happiest person too. 'Cause-
Yeah, and you
it's
are
genuine.
and I feel it. I feel it.
Look where we are.
Yeah.
How can we not be happy?
I know.
mean, and trust me, I have my downs. I have money or fights with the wife or, whatever. But if you really sit back, like even lose my father, that was like, oh my God, the world's ending. But it's like, but at least I had one.
Yeah.
At least I had a great one. At least I got him up till I was 30, whatever, 3 or whatever. At least I had him up to that point.
Yeah.
You got to look at that instead of the glass is half empty of like, F cancer and, It's like, hey.
He's with you still, I think.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
100%.
Yeah, so it's
I
like.
see it in you, and I feel it in you.
You take it at that point.
100%. Yeah.
At least I got that.
Yeah.
I think people always look like I don't haves
Yeah.
instead of looking what you have.
Yeah.
You're breathing, you're walking, not to like sound like Jocko, but it's like, you're killing it.
You're killing
it.
Gratitude is
Yeah.
such a powerful thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't
No,
underestimate the power
we're not in the gratitude
Yeah.
state of people nowadays, so. Hope for the best. Hope for
Please
the best.
come back, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Ahuyo!
Thank you guys. That was awesome. Man.
Bye.